All right, everyone, welcome back to the Seas of Hysteria. This is episode 11. If you are watching us on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We do this almost every Sunday on Twitch. DM, take it away for the recap.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. I'm going to keep this kind of brief because, in all fairness, we didn't do much. It was a lot of traveling and mostly travel days, a little bit of research and stuff like that. The party started off still back at, I always forget the name of the inn that you got, the Broken Compass. And you were kind of just starting off with your days. You guys knew that there was a shipment coming in from Olympia, and Simon was kind of waiting on that. You guys went out and did a little bit of shopping here and there. Calvin, you bought some chinchilla, was it, fur?
Yes, chinchilla fur.
You bought yourself some chinchilla fur. I don't think the rest of the party spent anything other than some cold weather clothing and stuff like that.
We used our black cards.
Right, you pretty much dumped your black cards out completely. Went back and met Simon. Also en route, you picked up Jeremy. Kind of all meeting back at the Broken Compass, getting ready to go. Lincoln's father wasn't there all morning. He was down at the ship, prepping for that kind of stuff. So you guys kind of devised a plan to pack Lincoln Jr. into the bottom of a crate while you guys kind of put all your belongings on top so that it would come onto the ship, not being checked through inspections of actual goods being sold, in which you did manage to get Lincoln on just fine. And then Calvin was almost late for the ship because he had to run back to the store to leave the address of where he was going to be, which I don't remember if he told them Caravan or Ryberry yet. I don't remember. Or if it's just going to go back to the Broken Compass, or what you actually had told them.
I actually told them about the...
Simon.
Yeah, Simon says.
Yeah, okay. So they're going to find that and hold that for you, and then... you guys loaded up the ship, embarked out, and basically that's kind of when, like, y'all's research and things like that started happening. Carter, you've kind of been in there working on... Oh, Carter picked up a bunch of parts in a pawn shop sort of thing. For a rifle, it was like a broken, not broken, but a scope that was missing like some glass to it, some springs and things like that, little parts. But he was looking to build or construct a long-range rifle just to get himself back into practice. So he's been working on that for like 3 or 4 days now. On top of the whole party's been kind of coming together working on the cipher that you guys all got, the letter from Theodore, or that you did. It said TR on it, correct?
Yes.
The initials at the
It had
bottom.
his initials in the bottom right.
Right, which you all assumed was Theodore. So you guys spent some time deciphering that. The party did end up doing this out of game, in which I said in game it's going to cost them 1 day of their research and stuff. However, they don't have to research however long it would have taken to do this because they broke the cipher on their own. Also, they have advantage on, what did I say, intelligence checks for breaking it for the day, or any intelligence based saves and things like that. But yeah, from there we will kind of jump into the game. If you want to kind of tell what that what your cipher said, it's up to you. And then also kind of what was on the back. I think you told the party.
Yes.
Or if you'd like, I can just share it and Drake can just put it on the screen.
It's probably the easiest way to do it.
Oh, I didn't put it in handouts yet. I'll get that on handouts, and as we're kind of moving along, I'll share that as it gets there. But yeah, so we're kind of on day 4. First, let me get a day roll, a d20, and I think it's on whoever was after Calvin last week.
Gonna be me then, I believe.
Go for it.
And 8. But yeah, you guys all kind of wake up. The seas are a little bit rough. You kind of getting like to the thick of it now. You're not really like treading next to the coastlines anymore. You're kind of in open waters now. Let me kind of pull it up. Show you guys. I hate switching maps in the middle of everything because it changes songs and stuff, but if y'all want to zoom out a little. You guys are on day 3. I am gonna say you guys are about like here now.
So about a
So-
midpoint.
Yeah, about midpoint. So you're kind of like not treading next to the coast anymore, and you're out in open waters. So it's more waves, a little bit rougher seas, things like that. Simon's definitely like more cautious, and what are the crow's nest? Yes, the crow's nest are always active and always have someone in it, even at nighttime. Like he's constantly being vigilant during these times and watching things. Him and Bella kind of like rotate shift between captaining and navigating. So you've kind of seen them like every 12 hours or so, kind of switching out between shifts and things like that. I'm gonna jump back to the boat. But yeah, so you guys all kind of wake up to a little bit rougher seas, and yeah, what would you guys kind of like to do today?
So you said it'll take like a full day to translate this parchment in character.
Yes.
Okay,
You
that's
can.
what Carter's going to be doing then.
All right, y'all just want to use this day here for that?
Oh, that's what I'll be doing. I don't know if the
Okay.
others can be
Well, you
joining me
did
on
kind
that.
of do it. Yeah. What was I doing? Oh, I'm getting you the paperwork thing for that.
That's like classic, bits of paper on top of other pieces of paper, strings connecting things.
Heck yeah.
Full on Pepe Sylvia, this breakdown.
Try to keep it sane. No promises.
Let me know if the music quit again. I don't know why it keeps doing this.
It's
It
Squid.
did.
Yeah.
I thought so. All right, I got you. All right, there we go. But yeah, what is Calvin and Varian going to kind of be doing as I'm getting this sheet going?
Well, I think
Go ahead.
Calvin
ahead.
would be exploring more ideas with the crystals. So last time you told me that the powdered stuff turns into a big old sheet of ice when using fire. I can't remember what a shard did, like great shard. Does anyone remember, or did we not test that?
No idea.
I don't know that you tested that or not.
I don't think we tested it.
Wanted to test it, but I don't recall testing it.
I know that it was said that when it's in like its shard form, it like boosts stuff, I believe. It said like and like
But I'm
reinforced when it was on armor and stuff like that.
but I'm
For the blue
testing it
one?
with gunpowder to see if it's a projectile or can be used as a projectile.
Oh yeah, I don't think we did anything with that.
So it's that, and I'd probably pick Jeremy's brains a little bit to figure out his knowledge of red crystals, if he has any, or has used red crystals in the past.
Jeremy, the
The
fellow y'all are
ex,
moving with now?
yeah, ex-military, etc.
All right, give me 1 sec. I'm filling all this stuff in. It's so nice that you can just use your phone now to scan some words and it can just copy paste.
That is very
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
If you were to seek out Jeremy to kind of talk to him, yeah, he'd kind of just look at you. You'd probably find him in either up on top ship, kind of hanging out with Simon, or just down below, kind of chilling in the bed. But yeah, if you were to talk to him about it, he'd let you know. Give me a persuasion check, since you're the one asking. Carter's the one that kind of brought him along here.
I'd almost ditched him. Just saying, I made
Not
sure that-
intentionally brought him.
I did bring him with me. I
You
did grab
ran
him
into him in the street.
and then
Calvin
grabbed
did
As you
him.
were late.
18.
18. As far as the munitions and things like that go, they don't really know what was in them or what it did or anything like that. It was more so that the rounds were being mass produced and kind of like issued out. So he doesn't really know like what's in it or how that would work. And actually, Jeremy was more so of a frontliner, swords and things like that, not so much guns. He
It was
would
worth
say
a try.
that the people in the back, like the people that did use guns and like that, there was definitely a array of different things that were coming out of them. Different things that the rounds did. But yeah.
Could he explain what the rounds exactly did? So I could probably.
I mean, there's a few of them. I mean, some would start fires, some froze areas, some caused like pulls, like force, like we'd shoot around like through a building, and you could literally see people being like pulled through with the round. There was one that would do like if we shot it at like a building, it would turn off any like man-made power sources to the building. All kinds of different things, honestly.
All right. Well, I figured out the freezing one, and that's if you crush up the crystal into a powder.
As far as like manufacturing and things like that, I mean, we didn't really do any stuff like that on the front lines. That was more so stuff held in the factories, probably more in Olympia. That stuff was kind of, well, you all know. He kind of looks around. I don't know who all's with you, but he kind of like gestures towards what you guys are kind of shipping. I mean, munitions and just the raw gem itself comes from Olympia. So. But as far as manufacturing, I don't really have the knowledge for it.
All right. So I want to try a shard, like a very small shard of the blue crystal.
All right, what are you going to try to do with it?
Gunpowder.
Give me
You gonna mix it into the gunpowder, or
No. Spoon, gunpowder, blow up.
Oh, instead of being like granulated, you're going to do it. Oh, right. Rock salty. Right. I remember this.
We never actually tried it. We'd only talked about it like at the very end, but we didn't.
All right, give me 1 sec. It's cool that it copies and pastes, but not cool that it doesn't put your enter signs. Return, whatever's. All right, that's done. All right. Not visible to players, show to everyone. Did that pop up for y'all?
It
Yellow
did.
Ararium rounds?
Yep. All right, there you go. So this was the formula on the back of the paperwork. This is what it can make. It actually, on the back of the papers, it's the schematics for how to make them, but it also kind of states like what it does. So yeah, this is what was found since you guys broke the cipher so quick. This was on the back. Give me a sec.
Seems very, very good.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
Indeed.
Like, I'm kind of excited to see it. So I got the idea, I'm not gonna lie, off a different game. Shooting through people and healing while it does that. But yeah, it's kind of cool sounding.
What
But yeah.
game?
Is it Overwatch?
Might be
Oh,
Overwatch.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah. I forget the
okay.
girl's name that does it. It's the sniper girl.
Talking about Anna,
Anna,
the old
yeah.
lady.
Anna.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
I've
I
seen
got you,
it.
I got you.
I've seen it in a few different games. It's a cool mechanic.
Yeah, I picked up first on it on some MOBA, but so basically, if you were to take your line of sight from your little arrow and like aim it to where it's going to go, like that's kind of, if it's passing through someone, you can attempt to heal them and stuff like that. Depending on if the creature's flying in the air and you're shooting up in the air, just because the line's in front of you and they're in front of you doesn't mean
Yes.
the person's in front of you.
So within
So-
reason, of course.
Exactly. If it's passing through, yeah, you'll see. But you guys got that. So Calvin, you're kind of on deck playing with crystals for the day. Carter's in his room, messing with that. What are you gonna be doing, Varian?
Varian is probably just gonna be hanging out with Jeremy, trying to get like him acclimated to the group since he's gonna be traveling with us. Kind of just like talking about our military experiences since they're both ex-military now. And I guess since Calvin was over there talking to him, if he needs help, Varian's gonna be there and like help him out too.
All right. All right. Calvin, make me a. I didn't make you roll to like crush the stuff up last time, did I? Like a dex check or anything? Sleight of hand, not sleight of
You
hand.
did not. No. I
Made him
just kind
find
of
the
just
mortar
did
and
it.
pestle, but
Yeah.
Right. All right. And then what did you do? We ground it up. Did you put it in a round or did you just light it on fire? I can't remember how we did
Lit
that.
it on fire.
Lit on fire because I
fire.
didn't want to test around yet, just to make sure it doesn't blow up my gun.
All right. How are you going to be lighting this on fire this time?
Well, seeing how big of that big decimation it did last time with just a little bit of sand. I don't know. I'd probably talk to Lincoln or someone to figure out how to set up a weird little pulley system so it doesn't impact anyone.
Lincoln
know,
just
like
kind of
how-
looks at you. I don't know about pulley systems. I'm more of a what do you call designer? Tailor. I'm more into tailoring and things like that, but I don't know. Maybe like a line of fuel or something, like a line of black powder to it or something. I don't know.
Maybe. But we also
There is
don't
black
want to blow
powder
up
and
the,
stuff.
we just don't want to blow up the ship.
I mean, if you put just a little line to it, it shouldn't explode the ship. Might cause
But
a
I'm
little bit
talking
of
about
fire,
the
but
I'm talking about the contents that were
Lincoln just kind of looks at you. You're lighting it on the ship.
screw it, let's do it.
Oh, I'll let Varian come up with something if he'd like to give any input on what you could try.
I mean, I guess he's just gonna be there for damage control. Like if something goes horribly wrong, he's right there.
Varian's
Alright,
just
throw
holding this
yourself on a
fire.
grenade.
Varian's just there with a fire extinguisher in a nice little corner, just waiting.
As you guys are kind of standing there in the middle, you look up and Simon's kind of looking down at you, just kind of paying attention. He's not telling you to stop, but he's just paying attention. How many feet away do you want to be from it?
How big of a radius was it for just that little bit?
I think I said it was like 15 feet last time.
Yeah.
10 to
So we
15
want
feet.
we're gonna at least be like 25 to 30.
All right. So you, Lincoln, and Varian kind of all up there. You make like this thin line of black powder trail to the. Are you keeping it in the mortar or no?
Sure.
All right. So you're gonna keep it in there.
Mortar.
You've got these not sand size, but we'll say like rock salt sized crystals in here. I
Not
think
too
last
much,
time you
though.
said you did like a tablespoon.
We've
think you're
scaled it down a little bit just because density, and I don't want to waste a lot of possible precious material.
Everyone on the ship deck is gonna have to make me a dex check.
Ha!
Uh-oh.
So that'll be Lincoln, Carter. You're fine.
Dex saving throw or dex?
Dex saving
There's an
throw.
Explosion on main
If I go flying off the edge of the ship, I'm gonna be upset.
18, or no, 18, 16.
Lincoln Jr., Jeremy.
I'm pulling up a sheet.
How many guards are up there? Don't
They
forget
should be
Simon.
fine. No, all the guards are on the upper deck. You guys
Okay.
are, yeah. So how this is you guys are on like the lower deck, and they're like on the upper part. And this is for anyone that's on the lower part.
Oh, see.
Carter,
I
you're
see.
fine. You're below. Yeah.
Yeah, while Simon was looking down at them, he was gesturing for everyone else to get onto another level.
Come up here, please. Yeah, he's on. You see this yellow arrow that takes you to the top of the ship? He
Yeah.
rode on that arrow.
Yeah.
12 is gonna fail. Who's the other one?
Oh no.
Jeremy.
Do I have to make one for Shredder as well? Because he'd be up there with me, I guess.
Shredder?
Yeah, the lion.
Oh, right.
If he's up there, yeah.
Alright.
16's fine. I'm looking for. You're fine. So the only one that fails is
Lincoln.
taking 16. All right.
Is it half for everyone else, or do they just not take any damage?
They're not going to take anything.
Wow.
So what happens is, as you light the line, imagine like, so the fire is going to hit it, and it's almost like an instant. I'm trying to think of it, stalactite and stalagmite. It's like this instant pillar of ice just comes straight up in the air, starts expanding out very quickly, pushing back to about 15 feet. Give me a sec. So like the pillar itself is like is it diameter or radius is the big one?
Radius.
Right.
Well, diameter is all the way across.
Okay, so
Radius
it's about
is
a
halfway.
15.
Yeah.
It's a 15-foot diameter pillar in the middle. And then like on the outskirts of it would be like shards of ice and things like that are flying out as well. So it's a 30-foot pillar, but it's like stronger in the center, if that makes sense. So the people on the outside, anyone who rolled above the 16 was able to jump out of the way and miss. The only person that got hit by this was, where is he? Lincoln, taking 16. His movement's also slowed, if you want to write that down. So, with the larger crystals, roll me it's not Arcana, so roll me an intelligence check real quick, just straight intelligence. This would be for your notes, what you get out of it.
15.
Nice.
So the smaller the granules, you get the idea, the less,
Potent?
Violent.
not potent, but
Violent the reaction.
I mean, yes and no. Like the smaller that you ground it down, you notice that it's more of this like nice ice slick. Like the molecules are more small, or like it's able to like reconnect better, and it makes this nice little like ice not path, but like I cannot think of what I'm trying to say here. Patch, like this ice patch slick, it looks nice, and you see that the less refined that you granulize it, like the more unstable it is. There we go. That's the word, not violent, unstable.
I look over at Varian. Buckshot.
and there's still this-
shotgun shell.
Oh shit.
Let's try not to kill anyone.
I don't mean trying it, just like actual field testing.
I'm here to help, whatever you're trying to do.
I'm gonna say this too. Refer back to the yellow Ararium rounds. You need to have Ararium tuned weapons to be able to shoot this stuff.
I'm curious if my pistol is Ararium tuned.
Which
Only
one?
one way to find out, and that's by losing your hand in a giant icicle.
It's very possible.
The gunblade.
Again, we don't know.
Yeah, you don't know yet.
If you want to find out, that's on you.
You'd still have to spend some time crafting the bullets too and figuring all that out.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
do a
very
little
true.
research on it first before you just go ahead and start shooting those dangerous bullets.
So yeah, for your notes, the more refining that you do to the actual, this is for the blue that you know, the more refining you do, the more finesse, I guess it would be, and then the less refined it is, the more chaotic and unpredictable it's going to be.
Both have their uses.
Merits.
Yeah.
And there is a 15-foot tall pillar. Well, it's probably longer than that. It's probably like 20-foot tall pillar just in the middle of this thing. Just ice crystals all around it. Very cold to stand near it. Not to the point of damage, but it's very cold near it. And yeah, Lincoln's got like some frostbite going on. Very cold. Just kind of looks at you all. That's enough practice for me, and I'm going downstairs.
Before he goes downstairs, I'm going to use my lay on hands and heal him right back up to full.
He gives you like a slight nod. I appreciate that. Thank you.
It's the least I can do.
Oh, speaking of, he might not go downstairs with that. He's just going to walk over towards Shredder and just kind of hold his hands up near it. Also with Shredder, as you see him kind of walking around the pillar, you also see the pillar kind of like melting down a little bit, and he's kind of watching you all, like anticipating a treat or something, like he's doing something good.
No,
Simon's
Shredder,
just kind of
keep it there. It's for margarita night.
Simon from the top. You got the ingredients for margaritas in, huh?
We have limes.
You gonna salt the rims with that stuff you're making down there?
I'm curious if it is salty. I'm gonna try some of that ice.
Let's don't risk it, Calvin, please.
I'm gonna try some of the ice.
Oh, just the ice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's just normal ice.
I thought you were about to put some powder on your tongue, and I was gonna get scared.
Do we have
Have what?
like this is a giant stalagmite of ice, right?
Mm-hmm. Just right where
Is it
formed
melting into water? Is there now water pouring into the bottom of the ship?
You guys are still on the deck of the ship, so you still have the drain. You know how on the ship's edges they have the hole there where the water can fall off from weight and things.
Makes sense.
Yeah, you guys are there, so you guys aren't down there in the table room. That would be awful.
I assumed, but I was just wondering if it was actually melting into water, in which case.
Yeah, it's going into water, but
very confused how that much water fits inside those tiny crystals, but that's not important.
You get the feeling this is it's magic. Well, it's not magic, but it's like a magical effect.
It's very chaotic at the same time.
It's like an elemental type thing.
This stuff is all new as well to the kingdom, like I said. So a lot of like people don't really know what it does yet. It's maybe been around for like right before the war actually ended. Like this stuff came to be, and basically like this is what changed the course of the war versus magical people, because it gave non-magicals as you can see as you're watching, an unfair advantage.
Would we know if there's any that can like drain magical effects?
We can find out.
Because I'm sure that would be like common knowledge, especially if you're a soldier, having to use that stuff against magical people, if it was a thing, unless it was more of like a secret weapon type thing.
I'm trying to think what's all traveling the world right now. As far as what you know of and what you've seen, nothing like that, no.
Okay.
Give me a history check, and that's anyone who's military or a military background if you want to do that.
Right, history check, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with a
18.
12 you wouldn't really know. 18? Nah. But yeah. All right. So you're doing some experimenting with that. I'm gonna say that this might take you till like midday. There's anything else you'd kind of like to get started on before the next day?
So we figured out the two different types that the crystal actually does for the blue for weaponizing it. But I'm curious, does it have any other features? I don't know if I can give it to Lincoln Jr. to see if there's things that can actually happen that are protection wise versus offense.
Well, I mean, if you want to, I got to think of a good voice for him since he's going to be traveling with y'all.
Mhm.
I can't just change him Irish now, but so we'll do like if you want me to take over a little bit of your research, since you're doing some defensive things, I mean offensive, if you want me to spend my day of research kind of looking for some defensive properties for it, yeah, I mean, I can use that. I can do that for you if you'd like.
That would be absolutely fantastic.
All right.
Since
I mean, we were told that, like before, the blue Ararium on armor is like a defensive boosting type thing. I forgot who told us that, but I do have it in my notes.
Might have been Lincoln actually, or
I think it was when I got
Sharon or
all those
something.
people together in the ship when I was asking about all those different types, maybe. I was asking Simon and Bella and everyone else. I think that's might have when they told us about it.
It's not that it's common knowledge. I mean, you guys as this is something where Jeremy would know, because they did use shields and stuff like that on the front line. I'm trying to think of what he would know about it, though, what it did. Yeah, I don't really know too much of like the applications of it or how it all worked, but I'll say this: I didn't take as many hits whenever I had some shields made with the blue stuff.
Worth looking into then.
Out of character, it wasn't as refined as far as defensive stuff. Theodore was a very weaponizing like he was very offensive, like what's his face here, Calvin
Munitions.
here. Yeah, so as far as like research on defensive side, it's not so much common knowledge. But Lincoln's definitely, let me roll a check on him actually. He's definitely willing.
Now we find out if he's able.
That's the real question.
14. With a 14, he's going to tell you there's definitely some qualities here for defensive stuff, but I don't know if it's I'm not 100% sure how to like use it. I don't know if I should just inlay it or if I should powder it like you've done or liquid it, or I'm not. Give me a couple more days if that's okay.
yep, and we can have Varian attack it after.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's
He kind of looks
nuts.
around. Does anyone have an extra shield that I could borrow, or something like that?
We could use
Armor, perhaps?
There is the armor. So in the armor, you would find just standard circular shields, not +1s or anything, not magical, just standard shields.
I was gonna suggest a barrel like lid, but yeah,
Barrel.
barrel lid.
The armor guy. We have plenty of shields to go around. I think it'd be all right if he wastes one.
Yeah, go for it.
No reason to crack open the barrels back there right now. I'll say that much.
What if
Well, yeah,
we put a powder, like a powder coat, like if we turned it into paint and put it on a shield?
Right. See, I didn't know if I should like powder it and mix it into like a liquid application, or if I should just inlay it. Basically, he's been doing just inlaying right now. But yeah, there's many different ways I feel like we could do it.
Well, as you
I just
saw,
want to try all the methods.
yeah, try them all. and we can have a test of a melee attack and getting shot at, seeing how they react.
All right. So we'll say that it'll take. I'll roll another check on the next day. I'm looking for like an 18. If we can get an 18 DC next day, we'll have like 4 different shield types y'all can test out.
Okay. Is this going to be Carter rolling? Oh.
I'll let all of y'all test against it if you'd like.
Okay.
Carter, you still have a little bit of the half of the day left too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to keep working on this translation until I have it complete. Once it's done, I'll probably share it with the others, but I don't know, that'll probably be sometime in the evening, I imagine.
All right.
Do we hear a lot of muttering coming from the other side of the door, Carter? Or...
Unless if the double line is an S, then no, that can't be it, because there's the R and the B, and they're the same, resulting in if we allow this one to return to... Okay, I see. Scribble some notes.
That subtle R and B, I like that. I'm so sorry that one R looked like a B or B looked like an R. I'm
actually,
so sorry.
I liked that. In fact, if that had been a staple of the code, that would have made complete sense to me.
I saw him
just knowing which one to use in which context.
Yeah, I saw the question, is that an R or a B, or is that Rebel or something else? And I'm like, what? And I'm looking, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, no, but I got there in the end. Yeah, it worked.
Okay.
It worked.
But yeah, kind of the day is going to progress tonight. The stars are going to start coming down soon. Is there anything you guys would like to do before we just jump to the next day? Because I think we got 2 days left, and then we can finish this. We're going to run through the next 2 days really quick.
Nope. That's it.
I think, I think Calvin's just been scribbling notes in his books and trying to draw ideas for projectiles and possible, what's it called? What it actually will do, or projected side effects.
All right. So wait, say it again. I'm so sorry.
So
you're laying in bed studying the what now?
Yeah. So I'm writing down everything that I've tried.
Okay.
And then writing down what I would assume would happen if it was in a bullet form.
Okay. I'm not gonna say that's up to you how you want to imagine that, because you haven't seen Aurarium bullets really fly yet. So it's more up to your like imagination at that point.
Yeah, I'm just picturing mixing it with lead or whatever it is, or finding a way to compact it and then put it inside of a bullet.
Gotcha. All right. As the night starts to come to a close, and the stars start to come up over the horizon, the sun's setting. Carter, you're probably in your own room, ticked off, cussing out the cipher. Varian, Lincoln, and Calvin all getting into your beds. Calvin, going over your day's research. Yeah, you guys start to go down slowly. Bella's kind of getting up for the...
Once everyone's like fast asleep and really, just at the most relaxed, you do hear a shout of just, "I've got it!"
So I guess we're waking up in the morning, like halfway through the night. I have my gun drawn and thinking that there's something wrong. I come over to...
Oh, you gonna do the shout in the middle of the night?
Oh yeah, no, like the moment I've got it all figured out.
All right. We'll say that you didn't burn any spell slots or anything like that. So we'll say that it probably took you till around midnight, a full day of researching. The other two probably been asleep for 2 hours or so. Hearing this commotion. Yeah, what do y'all want to do with that?
Go check up on our boy.
Yep.
So y'all head on over there. A light on the door.
Yeah, it's unlocked now. I've got it all here. No, it's all coming together. Just finished the last couple of words here on the back. It appears we've got both a letter addressed to some Karma, probably Theo's sister. Yes, that's it. And on the back here, we've got blueprints of some sort. Calvin, as oh, you walk over, just like drop the blueprint in his hands. Do what you like with it. I've already made a couple of copies. We can use them for later purposes. Otherwise, we need to find this Karma person. I'm sure someone on the ship must know something about it. And is anyone else exhausted right now? Like, I feel like it must be the middle of the night.
I'm gonna look.
You hear
at
a
his-
loud banging from underneath the ship as you're saying that, and you feel a slight vibration through your feet and a slight like a creaking happening.
That does not sound good.
No, it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure it's someone telling me to shut the fuck up.
Let's go investigate.
All right, you two do that. I'm going to bed.
Another slight rumbling.
All right, I'm gonna figure out how to get down there.
So this is hold up. This is the like stairway to get down to the bottom deck,
Okay.
and then these stairs go to the upper floor.
Okay.
Same as here. This is your down. This is your up.
Okay, so we're gonna go down.
What? No, you're going up.
Are we going up? I thought it was up. Well, I mean down.
No, the arrow goes down into the bottom, and you're going up into the. I'll show you. All right, so right now you're down. You're below deck.
Yeah.
This is middle deck.
Mhm.
This is above deck.
Yeah.
So this is still outside here, but you're still like it's the middle floor.
Okay.
But yeah, if that helps.
So
You
where
said it
was
was
the sound
from
come?
beneath the ship.
As you're kind of like making your way there, you start hearing like muffled like shouts and stuff coming from the deck outside. Get him from down below! Oh, what is that? Look out, look out, look out! As you start hearing like slamming and stuff happening from on top of deck. Shoot at it! Shoot at it!
Calvin's
What are
gonna
you
have
doing?
his gun drawn.
They're on?
Yeah, I'm gonna draw my gun.
Alright.
Carter!
Carter's laying down.
Carter, wake your butt up. We gotta go.
Ah,
We're gonna try to
God
intercept Carter.
damn it!
Alright,
I
from
will
here.
start getting myself out of bed, I guess. Put my boots back on. Ah.
I'm gonna drop some tokens down. Give me a sec. This is all because you rolled an 8, by the way.
You're welcome, guys.
Couldn't have waited until tomorrow.
You guys can drop your
Wait, it
tokens
is
here.
tomorrow. God damn it.
Is it right here?
Mm-hmm. If you guys are going up first, I'm gonna say that you two are here first. So give me one sec. All right. As you guys come walking out, you see Simon up at the top. You see some of the guards like running their way over towards the what would that be? The north side of the boat. Kind of the northeast side. You see Simon kind of pointing off to the northeast, yelling out to the side there as well. Get your weapons out and get ready. It's a fucking squid! As this large tentacle comes slamming down across the deck. Give me a sec. Bam there. And I'm gonna need you two to roll initiative. Carter, you're still in deck at the moment.
I'll get there eventually. It's fine.
You can roll 2, but
Okay.
what did I just do? I did something wrong. Hold up. That's the dice roller. That's what I needed. There you go.
Man, my initiative looking great.
Hmm.
Let me get some music going here too.
I'm going to stick myself down so I can actually roll initiative properly.
Damn.
Oh. Apparently I'm not as asleep as I thought I was.
Bop.
So, I just woke up, guys. That's why I'm a little slow start.
Fair.
Oh no, I need to clear this all out because I didn't clear it from last time.
Wait, what do you mean?
No, you're good.
I still have Lily. No, on mine it's wrong.
Ours shows only Calvin, Varian, Carter, and
Into Squid.
So we got 9, 18. Who got the 18?
I
Calvin,
did.
that's correct. 9, 18, 20, 17? Okay, I got all those. Sec. Bella's not here.
She below
the-
deck then.
Yeah, she's below for nighttime. Guards are going to move on Simon's turn. Your Lion's more than welcome to be here if you'd like to have him here for this.
I mean, he might instantly die if he gets knocked off the ship, so
True.
I think I'll keep him below deck for this one.
I just sorted that wrong. Did it again. There we go. Carter, with your unusually high initiative order, I will let you put your token like right there behind Calvin, like you've moved from your room, taking your steps, and you are now on
I'm
deck.
taking my time. While I'm heading there, I am setting up my cannon and stuff, but I'm probably not quite on deck yet.
All right. Well, it's only... That's a line. That was not a ruler. Yeah, it's only 30 feet, so...
Yeah, but that's just my movement. Like, that'll be my first turn. So I
there's
guess
that.
I will be just getting up onto deck, cannon on my shoulder.
Double checking something here. Simon's gonna look over. He's still got his hand like outstretched, pointing towards it. There's a giant tentacle. I'm gonna draw this. Kind of slap like that right there. We'll say is a tentacle at the moment. Simon's going to give the order for the ranged guard by this one cannon to fire. So give me a sec. And 19's going to hit for 13 bludgeoning.
Fine.
All right. So Simon's up at the thing. He's yelling out to the guards, "Fire the cannon at it!" The one guard standing right there with the cannon, like right in this thing's face, as it's like trying to come up onto the boat. You hear this as this cannonball smacks into the squid's stomach. Doesn't seem to do a lot of damage as it impacts it. Almost looks like it shoots like right through it, almost not hurting it at all. But yeah, it's still sitting there looking at him. He's going to give the orders for the rest to move. There. He'll probably get to there. And then this one to there. All right. It's going to bring up Calvin.
So, I'm gonna move maybe here-ish, so I'm not blocking the doorway. And I'm gonna fire at the tentacle, since it's
Alright.
closest.
Give me 1 second to... the ranged guards can also make some attacks.
Okay.
Or the ones up in the tops can. You're gonna make a ranged attack on the tentacle? Go ahead and...
I'm gonna
Make an
also use
attack roll.
my sharpshooter, and I am gonna use a Deadeye, so I get
Alright.
my advantage on my attack roll. So I'm gonna fire my gunblade, critting.
Crit?
9 plus 10, so 19 plus another 10 is
Natural
29.
damage.
So I'm gonna use my second grit again to do another Deadeye shot with sharpshooter.
Alright. The first one's
17.
for
17, so minus 3 is
14 is going to
14.
miss.
Yeah.
Your first shot slams right into the front of the tentacle. You see like a part of it go flying off as the bullet rips through it. You said you did 29 on that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got a math in my head. Hold up. All right. All right. The second one, as you see, the first one kind of like blew the tentacles apart. You're kind of like, oh, this is easy. And you pull out your second shot and take a fire. The first one causing damage made it like yank its arm away a little bit, missing the second shot. You still have some movement.
I'm gonna stay right here and wait for Varian to get in position, so I have better control.
That is going to bring up the squid. All right. You see it like pulling its arm back off the deck. It's looking at you over there, Calvin, because you're the only one that has shot at it. It also looks down at this guard, kind of. Yep, it looks down at this guard right in front of him. He is going to do. There's so much stuff here, so give me 1 sec. I got to read everything this thing can do.
Yep.
Take your time.
How far are you away? May substitute. All right, he's just gonna do. This one. He's gonna multi-attack.
Oh yeah.
You see him kind of like pulling that slimy tentacle off the side of the deck, looking down at this the guard right in front of him with the cannon, as he just starts slamming the tentacles or his arms down into the guy that's standing right there. For 28.
You did.
Rest in peace.
Yo.
Poor guy.
The tentacles slamming into him, he kind of like takes down to the ground, hits the floor there, and looks over at you all. You have no faith. I'm still up.
Color me impressed.
28. He's got 4 health.
He's fine. Never mind. He's immortal.
He's laying there. He's hurting. Let me double check and make sure. That tentacle's not there anymore. And until the end of its turn. That's going to be it. Where's my turn order?
Yeah, it's not there for me either.
There we go.
There we go.
It's back.
All right. With that, it's going to bring up Varian. You see this guard over there getting pummeled across the way.
Well, before I move, I'm going to use my action. I see Carter at the bottom of the stairs and Calvin right next to me, and I'm going to cast Bless on the 3 of us.
You're going to put Bless on everyone?
Yep.
I think you could target Simon as well.
I can only do up to 3 people.
Ah, never mind then. He's not that important.
Yeah, freak that dude.
Who are you putting it on? Sorry.
Carter,
Calvin?
myself, and Calvin.
This should help with our
All right.
sharpshooter quite a bit.
You are all blessed.
And since that's my action, I guess I'll just use the rest of my turn to move up closer. I'll just chill right here.
Let me see something.
Probably right there.
You can get to the cannon. If you get to the cannon, Simon's going to yell down, if you can make it to the cannon, you can fire at it.
I like cannons.
Is that going to
Simon's
cost an
gonna-
action, though?
He's going to use his captain action to allow you to fire it.
All right, guess I'm firing the cannon then.
So you can go to the ships. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it. Simon says...
I like to believe the cannon doesn't quite line up with the squid, so you pick it up and move it so it does.
whatever needs to be done.
Oh, 22 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage. For 20 bludgeoning.
Golly, rolled max on both those dice.
Yeah.
Why can I not? Oh, because they're part of the ship. Alright, give me a sec. I gotta draw something really fast. Different color. Just so I know that they're empty. Alright.
Sure.
So yeah, Varian, you go running across, first casting the bless on everyone. You get to the cannon. Simon kind of yells down to you to go ahead and open fire on it. You turn the cannon over to the right side, aiming at this thing as it's looking at you, still pummeling this ranged guard. Popping that shot into it for 20. It kind of gives like this hiss at you as it opens up its mouth, and you see this circular orifice of just nothing but teeth, like hissing at you. You still have a bonus action,
All right.
if you'd like.
I would like to. Let's see. Never mind. That's an action. I will use my bonus action to use my class feature on it,
All right.
and I will use it to do my vow of enmity. Oops, I think that was the wrong one. No, that was the right one. Okay,
That's the right one.
fine. All right, and that should be my turn.
You get advantage on all attack rolls for the creature. All right. I'm gonna give you and him both. That way I know. So that only affects you, correct? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like we might be stacking advantage here.
So there's that. All right, that's gonna bring up you there, Carter. As you're kind of like coming outside now, like what is going on? You see this big giant squid kind of coming over the side, and you're also top of the turn order. Give me a perception check. This will be a free one for you.
Gets blessed up.
Oh yeah, and I get to add a blast to it. That's right. Perception.
23. As you're coming out,
Yeah, 25.
23 was good. As you're coming out, to the right side of the ship, the south side of the ship, you're hearing like a creaking and like a sliding across the bottom of the right side of the ship as well. Even though you're seeing this thing directly in front of you to the north, whatever that is, you're hearing some more something happening below you right now as well.
I mean, I will step up and look over the side, see if I notice anything.
Looking straight down, you rolled a 25. Very briefly and quickly. You're not 100% sure if it was just more tentacles, but you could have sworn you saw another eye down there that kind of like went by the ship really fast.
We might have additional company up here soon, so let's see if we can finish this one off, shall we? And,
Also with that, I'm also going to let you know with that perception, you don't see any other ships or anything in the area.
okay.
Just because I feel like you're the kind of guy that would be looking for that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, we really do not need to be jumped by pirates at the same time.
Of course not.
I am going to start with firing my cannon. I don't think that
Alright.
hits.
Do you have advantage? Because a 9 does not.
No, I do not.
a 9 does
and
not
I
hit.
will take a shot with the pistol.
19 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage. For
9 points.
9.
Yep.
Why did that not take itself down?
And are you using bless
crap,
as well
I'm
on
using
that?
the healing bullets. My bad.
Bless is only for the attack roll, unfortunately, not for the damage.
Oh yeah.
Do what?
No, I don't think. I didn't add bless to the attack roll, but I don't think it would have helped.
No.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered.
Not for the 9. The 19 already hit, but yeah. Yeah, so Carter comes out looking over the side of the ship. kind of giving a word to everybody else as he pulled the cannon wasn't 100% ready and focused and ready to go yet, but
It's
with his
just waking
steady
up.
eye and
Give
his
it a
great
break.
perception, pops that shot across, nailing the honey book. Sorry, popping the squid, in the chest. It's not looking like hurt yet, but you can kind of see that it's starting to like evaluate, if that makes sense. That's going to bring up Simon on his turn. Oh, you still have movement too, if you'd like to. Sorry, and a
Oh, yeah. No, I used the bonus action to fire the cannon.
bonus to fire. Gotcha.
I guess I'll move over to here because I'm peering over the side, so I'm sure this will not come back to bite me.
No.
Literally.
Simon's going to use his action to have that guard reload that cannon. Reload that cannon. He's going to finish his movement there. And he's going to get to there. That's going to give me 3. $14, 9, and 7.
30.
Yep. And then all the cannons minus the one variants in front of are now fired. Now he's looking hurt.
Nice.
Simon kind of looks over to all of his guards. Fire the cannons! You see this squid kind of taking all the hits as they're all aiming at the side. The squid kind of, oh no, it's Calvin's turn next. Sorry. Calvin's gonna hold there. No, not Calvin. Simon's gonna hold there. That's gonna bring up Calvin. Oh, he can do it as. Oh no, he doesn't have reaction. Sorry. Calvin, you're up.
How far till I'm able to see the squid by moving up?
Like right there.
All right.
I mean,
so
no, he's tall enough. You can Carter
Okay.
saw it over the top. Yeah, you can see it fine.
okay. So I'm
This is
gonna
a
take.
huge creature.
I'm gonna take my sharpshooter roll, and I'm gonna fire at him twice. I can't use my dead eye, because I've used it all. So, firing once,
22 hits.
firing twice, and that's a 13.
13 misses. But the 22 does hit. For
15,
You
so
add your
25.
bless to it.
Yes.
Add the bless
okay.
to the second roll. Oh,
That
that's
is-
with bless. Never
yeah.
mind.
Oh, you just rolled one.
So
on the bless, I see.
25. Yeah, 25.
For 25? I hate math.
I'm not rolling that strong. Well, I'm rolling okay.
Y'all are doing fine.
2d8. And I rolled 2 5s.
So, all right. So the first shot, again, just like last time, your first shot lands. The second shot not doing so well. Almost like reacting to your first shot. He's like, trying to get away.
So
Um,
for my
Yep.
bonus action, I'm gonna reload by having them the chambers swap out,
All right.
like how we talked about.
Yep. Swapping over the empty chamber for a full chamber.
Yep.
You still have 20 feet of movement if you'd like.
I think I'm pretty happy here.
All right. It's going to bring up the squid. So this one.
This one, oh no.
I did warn all of you. Oh, it's got me. Why me? Oh, right, because I'm the one who's looking
There
down
you
at it. No, I deserve this.
So this is going to shoot this. He's going to do that. And this as it goes underwater.
disappears.
And the... Give me a sec. As the other one that you saw there, bud. Where are my tokens?
Oh, he's so. Oh, never mind.
He's on the other side. No.
Yeah, and all the cannons are on that side.
You
So
go
yeah,
speak.
Carter, you popped your 2 shots and still being very perceptive, you rolled a 25. You kind of look over the side as this other one's kind of coming up. Not 100% sure if it's the same one as the other one, but the quickness that it happened, you get kind of like a general idea. It's another one. And seeing the eyeball earlier, as this one's coming up out of the water, looking at you all.
Oh, hello
he's
there.
going
Fancy seeing you
to-
here.
He's gonna. Are you within 30?
Almost certainly, yeah.
Oh,
I'm not.
you are not.
Wow.
Safe.
You know, it's days like these when you'd think I planned it. I did not.
I will say, I'm not going to move him closer to you, but I am going to move him a little bit closer to the boat. That's going to do that, and then the other one can move up to 240. That's going to bring up Varian.
Well, seeing as this squid is now on the other side of the ship, I'm gonna follow it. I guess I'm just gonna go, just use my whole turn.
Yep. Also, as a reaction, Simon's going to inform all of you of what has happened.
Found the
There's
problem
another
with your
one?
ship.
Really? The
I
one
found
was
the problem
pointing
with-
out earlier. Yes, I can see that.
He's just going to yell, "It's moved to the south side!" Because he doesn't really
No,
know that there's 2
No,
yet.
never mind.
He doesn't know.
Hey,
He's
Simon, where's all the cannons for this side? I kind of found your problem.
He looks over at you. In ship-to-ship combat, you're usually only shooting from one side. You're not trying to take damage on both.
We need more cannons.
More
you
guns.
need more cannons.
Yes, we do.
Oh God, I'm on with prima donnas. All right, Varian, you're gonna get to about there.
Keep at least 2 men on the cannons on the port side. We'll deal with the squid on the starboard.
I, with my action, would like to prepare myself to try to catch a tentacle if he tries to hit me with it.
All right. You're gonna try to grapple.
Yes.
All right.
This man says I want dinner.
Give me some calamari.
And you still have you still have the other one on the other one. Okay. It's your bonus, or that was your action. You still have a bonus action, I do believe.
I don't think I can do anything with that at the moment, unfortunately, so
All right.
I'll just chill right here.
It's gonna bring up Carter.
This other one's on the turn order for me.
I assume
other
it goes at the same time.
It's at the same time. Since I transferred it down to the GM layer, it's just hidden. It's still
Oh,
a 17.
okay.
But yeah, same thing.
Okay. Okay.
I just don't want y'all to see where he's gonna pop up at.
Oh no, not again.
That's fair.
Wherever could he be? That's gonna bring up Carter. You see Varian. You'd see Varian moving across the upper deck there, kind of moving towards it. As the one's kind of coming up on the side now, the tentacle's kind of coming up over the edge. And let's take a bio really fast. I gotta walk my doggy.
Okay.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
All right, and we are back. PM,
Awesome.
all yours.
My dog's still staring at me like I didn't just take her out, but all right. So, Varian just finished his turn. He was moving from one side of the ship to the other. That brought up Carter's turn. Oh, I guess I can do a welcome back. The group just came into. They were going through their resting phase. For the day roll, they rolled for an encounter, and in the midst of celebrating on finishing their research on some paperwork that they had, they heard some stuff coming from beneath the ship. As they made their way out, they saw some tentacles kind of slinging across the ship as a giant squid was appearing. After the first round they all went through, Carter came out, noticed looking over the edge of the ship, there was another one kind of swimming through the water. As the other one popped up, and that's kind of where we are now, as it is. Oh, and one of them went down underwater. The other one popped up, and now it is Carter's turn. I think we're caught up now.
You know, I think we can afford a little more light. I'm going to reach into my pocket, pull out a little ball-shaped device, and toss it over the squid, where it'll burst into little spectral flames. And I would like to cast Fairy Fire. So it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex save. I don't think that... It says... No, it's got to be a +5.
Sheesh. Roll
Sweet.
below a 15.
An
Woohoo!
8.
He did.
Let's go.
And he is covered
Very
by
nice.
the purple spectral flames.
Now we
We're
get
gonna put
advantage
that-
on it. Let's go.
And I will also light him up with the cannon, which now has advantage.
Let me find... Put that on there for Fairy Fire.
9
26
force.
definitely hits.
And he is knocked 5 feet away from me.
Let me double check if he can... Is that for any creature?
Yep.
There's no weight
No, we
limit, nothing like
just-
that?
No, we just had this discussion in another group.
That's crazy.
Yep.
What?
So you're telling me that a regular cannon can't move the squid, but a little
Nope.
baby mini cannon will? That's
Yup.
crazy.
Well, because they technically shoot force... Yeah, force. That's so weird. Anyways. So the spell is what your act... So it's action bonus. You still got movement if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where I am.
All right. That's gonna bring up Simon again. Which cannons? Those are all.
I'm gonna yell at Simon. Hey Simon, how about you get one of your flunkies to move 2 cannons over to this side? Or
Well, I
Alvin,
guess
don't insult the crew. They're the only thing between you and the water.
so. If you want to make that suggestion, he can move the cannons across, but that's going to be the action, so they won't be able to reload them.
well, aren't they all loaded? Like I don't see any spent rounds.
I didn't write it down. They all like
Okay.
3 of them just fired. The only one that is, let me draw it really fast.
I think it was this one that
Yeah,
wasn't fired yet.
the one that I was standing next to, yeah.
That one's not. So those are all shot right now. So they can all move them, but they won't be able to reload them this turn.
Well, if he moves just this one, then over.
Just that one.
Yeah.
Because you're about to come. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, give me a sec here.
And to be honest, I'm doing more damage with my pistol than the cannons have been.
I'm gonna put that on the token there so I can move it easier. He's gonna push it to there. The other 3 will reload. What's a standard potion? 2d4 plus 4?
2.
Range guard's gonna get 8 health back. All right. It's gonna bring up Calvin. Actually, this one cannon's not gonna be reloaded. He's drinking his potion.
Alright, so I'm gonna work my way over to this side, and I'm gonna fire at Mr. Squid.
Yep. It's on the ship sheet.
Oh, I was actually gonna use my pistol, but
Oh, yeah, you can do that too.
how's actually with the cannon, the ship sheet,
Mhm.
does it also take in consideration my dexterity, or
No, this is all. So the ship's sheet is based just for the ship. We haven't really been through it yet. It's something we can go through after this. But basically, dex doesn't mean anything at all. All dex is chance to hit, I think. But it's different for the ship versus humans. Or no, yeah. Yeah, they mean different things.
All right. So that's gonna take one of my actions, and then I shoot with my regular.
Yeah. So the dex on the ship just equals the AC of the ship.
All right.
Doesn't do
Okay.
anything else.
And you said the cannon is on the ship.
The ship sheet. If you go to the very top, it's called Simon Seas. Under yellow Orarium rounds, that paper.
Okay, found it. Then I am gonna go to fire the cannons.
17 hits.
Where's the damage?
You just click fire the cannons again. Not
Okay.
they're not there on the actual in the chat block.
Found it. Sorry.
There you go. For 9. All right.
So I'm gonna use my pistol instead for the second shot.
You gonna do
Since I
what?
get
Sorry.
I'm gonna use my gunblade for my second shot.
All right.
I'm gonna fire, and I have
24 hits?
advantage.
You didn't need
So
7?
17. 17.
17?
Yep. Sharpshooter's still on it.
All right. Yeah, so the guard pushes this cannon across because Calvin, you look up and yell it to Simon, "Move the cannons!" And he yells over to the guys. He's dragging it across the ship. Calvin, you run up, using your bonus action to fire the cannon, pulling your pistol out, or is your pistol your bonus? Pistol's your main action. Pulling your pistol out to fire your pistol at it. You still have a little bit of movement left if you'd like to.
I'm gonna fall back a little bit.
All right.
About here.
Sounds good. That's going to bring up the squids. The other one... It's going to resurface. Why can't I move things? There we go.
Oh, it's back.
Will you make up your mind? Oh, I see. Everything's just
Kinda
getting
there.
closer.
So I'm going to need... I'm not wanting it to be... Whatever. Let me double check this real quick. Yeah, we should be fine. All right, so... the 2 squids are now coming over the side. How many of these can I do? 2. I need... Calvin
Yes.
and Carter to make...
Piece of cake.
Hold up. Does a 21 hit Carter, or Calvin, sorry.
Yep.
And the 16 will be going towards Carter.
That does not hit.
All right.
Beast.
Drake, you take 12 bludgeoning. Oh, there's no roll. You're just grappled.
There's no roll. Oh no, this dude's got
Bludgeoning damage and the target is grappled. Until the grapple ends, the creature's restrained. Oh, it has... They can do 2 grapples each. I need Varian to make... Okay, one's coming at Varian too?
You better stay back.
I mean, Variant's gonna grapple the grapple.
I'm guessing... Yeah, he's going to swing at you, missing with a 10.
I was preparing to grapple when it was trying to hit me, so I'm gonna grab that guy as it's coming and misses me.
Grab that. What is grapple? Strength versus dex, correct?
No, they get to choose either athletics or acrobatics to save, and it is athletics to initiate.
Okay, so I need to make a...
Acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
I don't think I have either of those very good, so I
So either Dex or Strength.
24.
And an
24,
athletics from
okay.
Varian.
Yep.
Damn, I rolled a
Natural
1. You've got to be
Oh.
kidding.
So as he slams down to try to grapple you up, he's slippery and wet. You, with your shiny armor, go to grab onto it, and you have no traction at all. As the tentacle just slides out of your hands, leaving behind this goo on your armor there.
I need to put some spikes on my armor.
Calvin does get grappled.
Does one of them have one more attack?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay.
So I
The
don't.
grapple on.
So I'm not
you-
doing like a roll against it.
Nope.
Nope, you're just grappled. And the
Damn.
other one will be coming at you again, Carter, since... Actually,
Oh.
it's coming for Simon.
No!
He's expendable.
26.
It is.
Well, that's definitely hitting.
We need him to command the troops.
For 11.
Oh my god.
And he is grappled. So, the grapple states... you take the bludgeoning damage, you are grappled. Escape is 17. So I think you get to make that on your turn, correct?
I think you have to take an action to attempt to escape.
Yeah, I think you're right. Alright, so we have 2 restrained. That is their turn.
Which one has restrained Calvin?
That one's got
this
Calvin.
one has Calvin. This one has.
This one has Simon. Yep.
Excellent.
It's going to bring up Varian.
Really just making this far more complicated than it has to be right now.
Seeing Calvin get restrained, Varian's gonna walk up. He's gonna try to cut that tentacle right off the squid to help free his boy.
Alright, make me an attack roll.
Alright, with
You do have
advantage.
and bless.
bless. Yep. With advantage and bless. Let's see, where's this at?
Before you roll damage or anything like that, I'm going to say the tentacles, to cut through one, I'm going to say it's going to take at least 10 points of damage to cut through it. But neither of those are going to hit anyways.
Alright, I'm gonna use my second attack then. This time I'm not gonna do Great Weapon Master.
Alright. Definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, and I'm going to use level 1 Smite.
For 23. 100% cuts through. I'm going to say you're not restrained anymore, Calvin, but I am going to say you're prone.
Okay.
I don't know where prone is on here.
It's fine.
Your back hurts.
Yep.
For 13 points, Varian, you walk up, bringing you're using the sword, right? Yeah, you're using the bloodthirst. Slashing it straight down. That same nasty, slimy stuff that was just on you, kind of spraying all over the place as it pulls its tentacle back, still wrapped around Calvin. He's still over there kind of with it on him. Taking 23. Let me double check something. I don't know. Okay, we're good. Yep. The one by you, Carter's looking really hurt. The one by you, Varian's kind of like starting to get to that phase where you saw a minute ago, the one darted underwater. So it's like starting to like look around and be a little cautious, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Still have some movement if you would like. You are technically engaged with it right now, though.
I'll just stay right here.
All right. It's going to bring up you, Carter.
And if I'm targeting the tentacle with ranged attacks, is that less likely to hit, or?
The tentacles are pretty thick. I mean, they're giant squids, so I'm not going to say it's a disadvantage to aim at them.
Then I will fire everything into the tentacle that's got Simon.
All right.
I will not sharpshooter. I will fire the brass pistol.
27 definitely hits.
11.
For 11. As you see Varian kind of slashing through the wand on the one side, and you kind of look back like, light bulb. Pulling your pistol out, you're kind of standing right next to it. Popping the round through, you just kind of see it explode as the tentacle goes, splits in half, still kind of moving like when a snake kind of dies, it's still got the nerves going on. But Simon's not restrained, he's kind of like trying to push the tentacle off, but he is still prone.
Just point the cannon straight down and fire down at the big guy. Again, don't have advantage, but
11 does miss.
Could have been firing with advantage.
You and I are going to have to talk about your calibrations after this.
That's going to bring up Simon. He's going to use his action to stand up.
Movement to stand up.
Movement to stand up, not action. He's going to give the order for these last two to recharge. Then he's going to order the other guards. We've got 1, 2, 3 ranged guards. The 18 hits. For 9. On that one. And what did I say? 9? Okay. All right. The one right there by you, Carter, as you popped off the tentacle, like it gave out this really, really loud scream, like begging to be put out of its misery almost.
Well, we tried, but
Very
my
hurt.
cannon in here are having a discussion about that.
That's going to bring up you, Calvin.
All right, so I'm gonna. So you said this one was screaming?
Yeah, the one to the left is very, very hurt.
So I'm gonna fire at that one first. So I'm gonna fire my 2 shots with a sharpshooter. I'm also gonna stand up from
You do not have
prone.
advantage against that one.
Where'd the prone thing go? All right, you are standing up. You see Calvin kind of like pushing the tentacle off of him.
Oh, yeah.
16. These both hit.
And crit.
The roll the first one.
I suspect the second was
18,
both
so
kills.
28.
So for 18, so Calvin, you're standing up,
28.
throwing the tentacle off. At the same time, kind of yelling like, "Keep your hands off!" As you pop this shot through. The 16 one, the one for 18 damage.
18. So 28 damage.
Oh, 28. It's regardless going right through the one's eyeball. This one's just kind of falling off the ship now. Carter, you're watching it as like the tentacles kind of like sliding down like a slinky, like being pulled over the edge.
Just kind of lean on the rail as I watch it go down.
Just sliding down the side, flopping suction cups like you hear like. I can't do a suction cup sound. Like popping off the side as it's falling down into the water. The other one, Calvin, as you see that one falling down, you get kind of cocky and aim at the other one, critting for. And this one's at plus 10, right?
38 points of damage.
Yep.
For 38. I have to do math in my head.
Surgeon, do it again.
Oh, wait, I can action search with my final bullet.
I mean, you can action surge, bonus action reload, just take 2 shots.
It's so yeah, you pop this shot into this one. It's looking hurt.
I'm gonna action search.
All right.
So I'm also gonna reload with my bonus action.
All right.
And then I'm gonna fire my 2 shots.
Go ahead.
So
Are
I
these
had
both
advantage.
advantage too or no?
Yep.
Yeah.
They both have advantage.
So 16 and 17.
Both hit.
So 22 and 23.
How do you want to do this?
Sure, Calvin just did over 100 damage in 1 round.
He's your glass cannon.
Well, he's not even that squishy. He's a fighter.
It's true.
So
Hey, these guys were tanky too. They had 150 health each.
So I found the
Yeah.
hammer. Like I shoot one, and then I found the hammer and put 3 bullets into this guy's head in a quarter. Like a dime-sized grouping.
It's
And-
very Dante-esque from like Devil May Cry-ish.
Yeah.
Like I just imagine Calvin just popping shots left and right, back and forth.
Some anime
That's
music in
sick.
the background. Just has a
Um,
zoom in face and it has the ooh eyes. After I don't know.
Yeah, you see this other one, same thing almost, Carter. The suction cup sounds as it's falling back off the ship.
And I'm
you guys
just
are
going to
kinda-
be watching the first one slide off the ship, and then turn to my left, watch the second one slide off the ship.
With that, you're out of initiative.
Guys,
luck,
I think
everyone.
we have.
I'm off
I
the
think,
bed.
I think we have dinner or breakfast. So like
The
Squid.
first thing that's gonna happen, Simon's gonna walk to the edge. Wow, Calvin, I never actually expected to see you do anything.
Wow, I'm
He can
surprised.
surprise you.
I'm surprised one of your men actually moved to cannon.
Well, he probably wouldn't have done it if you didn't tell him to.
Maybe we should have like 2 cannons on each side.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Or
You
one
want to move
on.
those now, or
You know what? Should we have one on the bow and one on the stern, and then one on one, just in case we get attacked from behind? Or what would you guys, like, out of character, feel more safe with? Like one on each side, or
I would
on
actually
each
prefer
side,
it.
for
I'd actually
me.
prefer it if we had one here, one there, and one there. That way you can just slide them across if you need more firepower on one side.
ping them again?
And then just move this one to the other side, like down here.
Okay.
That way, if you need to have 4 on one side, you can just slide them over.
or like one to the front, because this one's already raised up. You can actually move it right to the back, or have this one over here moved up here.
I don't think there's much up here.
No,
Well,
the
if
front
you-
of the deck is just so okay. So this one up here, you're actually like up as well. Over here, on this side, still kind of the same floor that you're on right now, Calvin.
Okay,
So like if you were to
it's a
walk,
walkthrough. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, if
it
you
was
walk-
walkthrough.
like that's a walkthrough area. You would
No,
just be on
I'm
the
happy
same
with
level.
those placements.
Okay, yeah. Having one near the front is just an aggressive tactic if you're trying to close the gap on someone.
I'm gonna swap the music too.
So, who likes Squid?
You want to try
I don't
to,
know. I suspect we'll find out in the morning. I'm going to bed.
if you want to try to pull it up,
Yes.
I mean, we have those tentacles on the ship, right?
there's a few still lying across the ship, like 3 or 4. To try to pull one up, I'll say there's some nets and things like that. They don't have like cranks or anything. Well, they probably would for the masts and stuff. It might take you guys a little while to get it all done if you want to try to pull one up for food.
But yes, definitely.
All right. With that, Carter, you're kind of heading to bed. Calvin, you and the rest of the crew here. Simon's like impressed by you for this. Kind of looking at you all as you're pulling it up, using the nets and things like that to get it on board. Through the night, you give them some direction as far as like cutting it up to save it for not for freezing. I don't know how they would preserve it.
It would
really
all
have
be drying,
freezers.
Get
drying and
salt in
curing.
it.
Dry and salt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking it below deck, packing with salt and stuff like that underneath.
Although we do have those blue crystals, a bit of research, and we could freeze it.
Hey, you might be able to make yourselves a Frigidaire.
Got
I like
married.
those, really. I feel like that's more important.
Yeah.
Firearms?
Let's also
Clothes and
say
refrigerators.
So, do I blow up half of our ship again with a crystal and then just lay it on ice?
Maybe not.
Ooh.
Maybe not.
yeah, I don't know.
Probably not right
Um,
now.
If you want, you can also add how much? Some squid ink. What else?
Carter would like that.
I mean, it's useful for writing.
Also, if you're wanting to
Fine
make
clothes.
black pasta,
Yeah, I mean, probably just gonna find some ink, couple teeth, some giant squid teeth,
It's a beak, isn't it?
yep.
the beak, and I don't know how many eyes Calvin shot through. You might be able to salvage a squid eye or something like that too. Like
Not
random parts. No,
particularly interested.
no treasures or
get
gold
some.
or anything like that, but
Yeah, makes sense.
Food's food.
food's food. Yeah, so you guys spend about an hour doing that, and we'll kind of push through into the morning if you all would like to.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, you guys kind of wake up a little bit late just because you were up a little bit extra into the evening. But upon waking up, you start hearing, the seagulls and things like that, kind of giving you an impression that you're kind of traveling by land again. Simon's went to sleep. Bella's now out there. You got the smell of like smoking meats and things like that happening. Looking around, Lincoln's not there in the bed. He's already out. So is what's his face? I forget the other guy. Let me change it back to the other map.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Jeremy nor Lincoln would be there. They're both out since you guys were staying a little bit late to replenish all your spell slots, things like that. But yeah, we can do. I don't have anything planned as far as like rolling for days anymore. I didn't want to give you guys too many encounters on ship. So we can just finish out our researching rolls and stuff like that, and kind of make our way to Ryeberry Caravan.
Love that.
Or if you guys would like to RP on this ship a little bit more, we can. It's up to you guys what you want to do.
I think for the most part, unless anyone has any suggestions, Carter's going to be working on his rifle. If anyone needs any assistance with their projects, he'll be more than willing to lend a hand. But I don't think I've got anything big planned.
The only project I have is trying to figure out how to make a freezer with whoever for that squid.
All right. And then Varian, same thing.
Guess he'll just be, I don't know, helping Calvin, just hanging out with people on the ship, stuff like that. Doesn't really have too much going on.
All right. Carter, give me 4 Tinker Tool checks.
Okay. Interesting. 1, 2.
We'll say this is over the next 2 days.
4.
So the 13 wasn't very good. However, with the 26, 24, and the 19, let me see what kind of. I'm gonna say that you finished the base model of the rifle itself. As far as functioning goes, you haven't really tested it or not yet. I'll say that you have it there. Give me a sec. Did we say what kind of gun this was exactly?
Is that a
Nope.
rifle?
Yeah.
Well,
just
I know it was a rifle.
something.
I didn't say if it was double barrel or anything like that, did I?
No.
I don't think I was looking for something double barrel. I was looking for like a single shot long range.
Right. They don't have anything in the SRD for a rifle.
Try musket. Musket would technically work.
No musket. Hunting rifle. That works for me. You can put down the stats for a hunting rifle if you would like.
Sure.
It's. I don't know if it's in the SRD or not. But I'm looking at it on D&D Beyond, so just copy the stuff from that. I think 80. Yep.
And that's not. So we killed the squids, and then I worked on it for a day, and then I finish it the day after.
Yeah, it'll be. So this is 2 days worth of work. So that's 2 rolls because I was giving you like a roll to
Yeah.
noon and then a roll. Yes, this is all 4 rolls.
Perfect. Thank you.
So yeah, we'll say that it's done. As far as like functioning and shooting, you haven't really tested or anything like that yet. The scope, you still don't have like all the parts that you need for that. And as far as ammunition, you just have straight rounds, nothing crazy. And you've just kind of been like talking with the armorer guy and kind of just testing certain rounds here and there. You're more than welcome to kind of try some. Calvin, you're working on a refrigeration type unit, or are you still going to work more on the shields? Oh wait, the shields are with him.
Yeah, the shields are with Lincoln.
Lincoln.
Well,
Let me do his rolls really fast.
I'm just trying to preserve food, which will give us more ideas of what these crystals technically would be up to, right?
Yeah, but it could spoil the food.
Only one way to find out, right?
What
I
was
mean,
I
we have a
doing him?
plethora of squid meat, so losing a little bit isn't gonna hurt.
It's true. Trying to find. Where are tools at? There we go. All right. I'm gonna do one more. So I was looking for a 16 DC.
He beat it once.
Damn it, Lincoln.
He's not the best. Wait, these are int based. Hold on. Does that change if I change? Hold up. What are the 4s and the 1s for? Why do I have guidance on him? Would one of y'all been guiding him through this?
Well, I've been busy, so.
Yeah, that's true. So none of these would go. Let me double check one thing here. So it's +3. What's his dex? Oh, he actually got better with. It'd be 1 more with dex instead of int, so it wouldn't change anything.
Nope.
So
That's
he's
his
going to come out on the final day. He's got 4 shields there in front of you. He doesn't know if any of them are actually going to do what they are designed to do, but he has like he's got one that's kind of got like a paint gloss over it. It's a very like sky blue in color. Then there's one that's just kind of been inlaid, and it kind of looks like he's put some runic symbols or something on it, just trying to like invoke it. One he more ground it up, and it's more like a layer of glue, and then like the powder on top of it. And then the other one, same thing as that, just less refined, like Calvin did with the sand and then the salt rocks.
Yep.
So one of them's kind of like glue with the salt rocks, one's with the finer sand, one's like a liquid that's been painted, and one's just been inlaid. So he kind of brings them all to you there, Calvin. All right, well, this is the research I've been doing. I haven't really tested too much, but if you all want to give them tests, I guess you're more than welcome to.
Varian, we're gonna do things. Come out, nerd.
Come out there.
All right.
Carter, you can also come on deck and give your weapon a few shots, things like that, if you guys would like to try. As you guys are all kind of out on deck, you do see like mainland coming closer and closer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Simon kind of looks over.
Step out on
If you want to practice with any of your weapons, guns, things like that now, get it out of your systems before we get into the city, I guess. If you'd like to pop a few rounds with the cannons or whatever you'd like to do before we dock, we'll probably be there within the next 2-3 hours or so.
So, Varian, do you want to hit it first, or should I shoot it first?
Let's
I'm
have you
curious,
shoot it first, in case there's a negative reaction.
So I'm gonna shoot all 4 of them. I'm gonna be on the other, like, let's say where Jeremy is where all the shields are,
Mhm.
and we'll be on the other side. So we'll
All right.
fire. I'm gonna fire at all 4 and see what happens.
All right. Go ahead and roll 4 attack rolls.
4 attack rolls.
I have to
I'm
look
gonna
something up.
take off sharpshooter. I'm guessing I don't have bless anymore.
Nope.
Poof! What is with this today?
I mean, just obliterated that shield.
Um, one more.
It's 4 shots.
I only see 3.
It's
I
Big
got a
4,
crit. I got
There it is.
17,
17, 23,
23.
29.
They are all double checking. Yeah, they're all gonna hit. All right, so the 28 one, your crit. I'm assuming I'm gonna use these going into their rolls above them, if that makes sense.
Yep.
All right, so the first one's just gonna obliterate it. That one's going into the.
Is it the inlaid one?
Yeah, that one's gonna be the inlaid one. It just kind of breaks it into pieces. Like the wood goes flying everywhere. The bullets go right through it. The gems kind of fall down. Nothing really happens as far as anything that you can see. The 15 is going to go into the one that's been painted. 18 minus. That one's actually not going to hit. 17. No. What's your AC? I'm going to use your AC to base this off of.
Mine's
Calvin.
15.
15 plus 2 for a standard shield. Okay, so your bullet ricochets off that one, just kind of goes flying. You get the feeling that it lifts AC a little bit, maybe more so than just a standard shield. It's cold to touch. Doesn't You get the feeling it doesn't like do anything more. Coating it just kind of like makes it more durable, if that makes sense.
Okay.
The 11 with the 21. This will be the powdered one.
Explodes.
Trying to think. 21. Well, it would have hit, but I think it would have just like granulating it down to like it's more of like does the same thing as the other one. Except it just kind of explodes because the AC was lower for it. Like finely granulating, it's not really doing too much. The other one, however, this is the one that's more unstable because of how it's been ground. This one kind of does the same thing, except instead of it being like a straight pillar up in the air, it's kind of like I don't know if you guys remember PlayStation 2s, but there was like this crystal that showed up when you first turned on the game,
Yep.
and it would have like these spikes that came out of it. That's kind of what that shield just did.
That's actually from how many games you had on your PlayStation.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks like this crystal pillared shield. Just by looking at what it did, it's not very, again, not stable. And you'd get the impression that if you were holding that shield when it happened, you would have taken some damage as well. So just based off of what he's kind of done here, it looks like the fine granulated and the paint versions of this are kind of doing the most as far as like defense.
I want to look
However,
on the other side for the crystal. Did it actually shoot through and hurt the person behind them?
on which one? The powdered one
coarse
or the sand one?
The coarse one.
The coarse one, as in the one that looks like a big ball of ice right now.
Yeah.
You can give me a investigation check.
Perception or investigation?
This would be
I think
investigation because you're
investigation.
kind of looking at this.
8.
Oof.
What is it?
8.
See, this is where it's not. Oh, there it is. With an 8, it's really thick. It's not like very clear ice. It's not like glass, you know. It's definitely got cracks and stuff in it, so you can't like see through very well to see what the shield's actually doing. You'll have to wait until it like melts down in a while. But just looking at it in its process right now, you can't tell if it went through or not.
Okay,
Looking
I'm
at
just
the other ones didn't like do this. So just looking at the other ones, the one that ricocheted the bullet, there's no damage at all to it. The other two, well, one got obliterated, and the other one, what happened to the other one? Obliterated too. So yeah, but the one that was painted doesn't look like it took any damage at all.
well, we figured out one thing. Yes.
Better than
Um,
nothing.
Lincoln's gonna kind of look at you too. I mean, it's not just shields as far as like defensive measures as well. I mean, you can always make trinkets and things like that too. There are other uses. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing a little more research on other items if you don't mind.
Go ahead. I just wanted to see how it would react to armor or stuff to say, let's say Varian is on the front line. If we could actually paint him with this stuff, what would happen?
Oh, yes, we needed to check it for like toxicity and long-term effects as well. Then
Oh, I
I
think
don't.
he'll be fine.
I will say this: when I was working with it, I
Thanks.
found it was smarter to wear like leather gloves because it was very cold to touch, especially in its liquid form.
Varian loves the cold.
Lincoln's just going to
That's where
kind of
the
look
fire
down,
land.
right?
Right.
So with that, Lincoln's going to do a little bit more research as far as like maybe trinkets, amulets, and things like that, and then armor applications. But yeah, so you guys got a little bit longer left on the boat.
Curiosity, how far out are we from the shore?
Probably like an hour, 2 hours or so from the shore. You're not moving like
Okay, so
super fast.
we're not traveling alongside the shore then. We're still heading
No,
towards it.
you're still like along the shore. Oh, let me pull you guys really fast back to the world map really quick.
Sure.
Actually, hold up. Where's Minnowood? I don't have it on here. Miss it. While you guys are looking at this, so you guys kind of did. Give a paintbrush. You kind of stuck to this side and then kind of came around and down, and now you're kind of like traveling alongside right here into this. Here we go.
I see.
So right now you're probably about like right in this area. If I can pull y'all to, it's not gonna let me do anything.
Right here?
Yes, right there. So you're probably like about right in there. Land hose been called. You've got about an hour or so left as you can kind of see it all coming in. However, to the right of you guys, as you're driving along the side, it is just mountains. I'm trying to get the thing for that. The sheet. I'm gonna pull y'all back to the ship. While I'm doing that. Also, while we're on the ship, there was something else that you guys had wanted to do, and I cannot remember what it was. Before we get there, Simon's also going to talk to you all. So y'all given any more thought as far as like what you want to do with the Aerarium we're transporting? Do you want to go ahead and continue on with the sale and send it back to Olympia? Or do you want to try to make a little profit off it yourself, or what are the plans for you all once we actually get there?
I'm gonna be
Thought-
toying with the iron sights on my rifle. Look to the other two, see if they have a opinion.
I believe we came to the conclusion that we were going to sell it to the black market.
He's just kind of doing like twirling his knife blade, on the desk, just spinning it. All right, then. I like the way you all are thinking. Make a little bit of money, get away from the royals, and just do our own thing. I like it. Well then, I suggest we stay out of Ryberry for the time being. Then, Caravan's more of the black market open trade area, and I know a few people there we can talk to. since you all have been kind of researching on board with the blue stuff, I will say this too. Let me double check. I think blue, red, and green are on the north, correct?
I believe so.
Blue, red,
We
green.
know it.
Um,
Blue and red at least.
Yeah, blue and red. He's
Yeah.
going to let you guys know that there is green coming up here in the town that you're about to get to in Caravan. Um,
Neat.
so there's basically we trade the red and the blue, a little bit for profit. Some of the rest we trade and we get green back and take it on back to Olympia. Oh, we used to. So I'm going to give you guys a heads up as well. There's blue, red, and there's a. It's not like a mine, but they kind of ore it. I guess it comes out of the beaches near Caravan, whereas like up in Olympia, it comes out of the mines and out of the mountains. It's very weird. I don't know. But anyways, they're not going to let you on the beaches to just go pick it up yourself, though. I'll tell you that now. But you can buy it in Caravan once you get there. Stick away from the fields. If they catch anyone over there that's not supposed to be over there, they will kill on sight. This shit's very expensive, very lucrative, and they will not tolerate you messing with their products. Double
So
check
how
some
about we
things.
keep a little bit of the red for ourselves and a little bit of the blue, and then sell most of it, so we have more stuff to play around with.
I mean, that's fine too if you want to keep a little bit for yourself. It's kept in ounces. It takes 1 ounce to do research. I think I set you up a thing on yours, Calvin.
Okay, yeah.
For blue and red, I can't give you all too much of it for free. I will give you. We'll call it ship funds. I'll give the ship 24 ounces of each, blue and red.
Okay.
So mark that down for you all. That can be used to kind of like do your initial researching and stuff, because it is expensive. So it's something that you're gonna have to like pay for to do your higher level researching. But as far as like starting you all out and you guys have it on the ship and you want to make a little bit of money, we'll start you out with 24 ounces of both blue and red on board that any of y'all can access to work with. I'll put it on the sheet for the ship. If I can find it. Put it in bio. Alrighty. There's that. Oh, that's what I was trying to do. Okay. I'm trying to get the map for where you guys are going. So I realized the other day that I've been doing some dumb thing because all of my maps and stuff are already uploaded into Roll20, but I've been re-uploading them for each campaign when I can just scroll and find it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no
didn't
harm
know
done.
this. So let me just find. That's Briarstone. Trying to find the city. Or not the city. I'm trying to find you guys. You know what? I'll find that in a second. As you guys are kind of coming around the coast, time's kind of winding down. You guys are setting your stocks and stuff like that. Calvin, give me just a standard. You can give me an intelligence check if you'd like to, as far as I just want to see if you even understand, or if Calvin would even comprehend making a refrigerator with this stuff. Not with a 9. I don't think he would have like. I'm trying to. I just don't think he would have like the idea of how to do it yet. I get that he has the idea, but you've only seen this thing like explode. I'll say this: if you want to take the shield that's now frozen solid and like move it to a certain area of the ship where the meat's being held with a 9, I'll let you do that for now.
Yeah, nailed it.
So that's
Oh.
keeping the food cold for the time being.
Our refrigerator is literally a shield.
Yeah, and we'll say that this is like your light bulb. Like, wait a second, freezing food. Wait a second, and we'll make your rolls a little more active with that moving forward. And I'm gonna move you guys too. So as you pull into port, kind of like he said, there's just long beaches. The sand's not like white or yellow; it's very dark sand, like black, brown almost. Kind of like you would see at like if you imagined an oil spill, I guess, and how that would make the beaches look. Like it's just very dark sand for some reason. The ports probably have around slots for 20 ships or so. You guys are kind of coming in the middle of the week, so there's not too many ships there. Usually it's on the weekends when people are docked and boarded. So during the week, not too much. It's mostly just the traders coming in and out. So you guys are kind of being like expected and things like that. However, you're not really parking over by where you normally be doing your drops, and kind of more so a little bit more north. But yeah, you guys kind of dock. Your unloading begins as well. I'm going to show you guys the caravan map if I can find it. Oh wait, this is Ryberry. All right, so here's Ryberry. As you can see now, there's the docks. I know it only shows a little bit less than, like I just said, 20, but there are docks all the way up and down
The coast.
that section there.
Okay.
Not so much on the right side, but like this section here is kind of all docks. Um, the circle that I'm putting in now, that is caravan. So it's on the outside of the gated city. It's kind of like the slums of the city. This is just kind of like the headquarters where it's all kind of being held and held together. The inside's kind of run by the Ryberry guards and stuff like that, but caravan's kind of its own thing. Like I said, it was a traveling turtle group that kind of settled down here once they were pushed out of their own towns. And this is kind of like the trade district, black market district of um, Ryberry. So I'm going to bring that up. And this is caravan.
Very nice.
Give me one
Mhm.
sec. Because my audio is not here. I wish you could save your blah 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 your playlist between campaigns.
Would be nice.
That'd be very nice. I'm trying to find out what song. I'm just going to use the world map one for now. But this place has different music. I just have to get it all sorted out. But anyways. So, you all show up and imagine like Aladdin, very sandy town, mud built. What do they call it? Adobos. Like it's all mud built, clay built. No like roofs. It's more so like sheets for the most part, unless it's like a permanent dwelling or like a sleeping area. But for the most part, it's sheets and stuff like that. It looks like a very open market. Smell foods, things like that. Music being played. A array of like random, not magical creatures, but stuff that you guys haven't like seen before. Not your normal stuff. A bunch of random people walking around. As you guys all kind of get here, Simon's going to kind of look at you all. Well, the first thing I'm going to suggest you all do is kind of trying to find a place to stay. Here, I'm going to drop you guys. Where's your group token? Where is that? Put the group token there. All right, so he's going to let you all kind of know. All right, so this is the main trade district. I'm going to go meet with a few people as far as offloading the cargo. Maybe you guys should find either a place to stay for the evening if you want to bunk down, or we can bunk back down to the ship if you'd like to. I'd prefer a good meal, if possible, though. Do any of you want to go with me for the trade, or what would you all kind of like to do now that we're kind of getting here?
I know I've got a couple of things on my particular shopping list that I'd like to take the time to look for. If you think you need some assistance on the deal, then I'd be happy to join you for that. Otherwise, I trust you to complete the transaction.
I shouldn't need any help with the actual deal itself, but I mean, if you're going to be doing some shopping, it might be better to wait until after I make the sale. It'll give you guys a little bit more spending money.
I don't plan on spending too much.
Well, that's the thing about Caravan, is you never plan on spending too much, but well, let's just say they have things you like to buy without knowing you want to buy them. But,
All right, I'm curious. As long as I don't have the coin, they can't get me to spend too much, then, can they?
That's true. You're better off just looking through now, I guess, but he's going to look at the rest of you. I'm going to go try to make this sale really quick. And let me see what name I'm going to give you guys. Who would he trust with this name? Probably you. There, Carter. Alright, he's just gonna... Alright, I'm linking up with a fella named, no last name, first name's Todd, T-O-D-D. If you can't find me within the next hour or so, one of two things has happened. They've killed me and taken everything. We've began drinking and catching up. That's probably the only two things that could have happened. Look, if I'm not back within about an hour or so, don't come looking for me, but look for a fella named Todd, ask around a little bit, and they'll get you to me.
One way or another, I imagine.
Exactly, one way or the other. He's going to look at Calvin specifically. Please stay out of trouble. It's a brand new town. The last time you were in a new town, you were arrested. Please, for the love of God, the first day of leaving Olymp, please. Be on your best behavior.
No promises.
No, Calvin, promises.
We'll keep him in check.
I appreciate it.
I do not need that on my shoulders.
Shh.
God. All right. Simon's gonna head off, kind of straight ahead towards the fountain. He's gonna cut off to the right. As he leaves you all there, you smell foods, breads, random smells that you've never smelled before, but you know that's some kind of food. Looking to the right, you see like what are they called? Shawarma, I guess, kebabs. You see like a rotisserie kebab type thing going on. Not really sure what the meat is. If you look to the left, it's more like general goods and things like that. So off to the right, more looks like leisure, food, drinks, and stuff. Off to the left, more looks like the general shopping area. There's also right to the left of you all, where you're kind of standing, there's also like some signs that say like boarding this way with some arrows, you know, pointing straight back down towards the fountains. So yeah, what would you guys like to do?
The first thing I'm going to do is go looking for a glass worker to see if I can find another lens for this scope.
All right. What about you, Calvin?
I'm just gonna follow along and see what's going on.
All right. Same for you, Varian.
I suppose so.
All right. I'm gonna drag this token. As we're traveling along, I'll kind of tell you what you see. All right. So, as you're kind of walking down, you see an elderly-looking turtle lady. She's got like craft beads, shoes, things like that, more natural-looking things that look like it's more handmade. You walk by a pinkish-looking tiefling girl. She's got like dishes and things like that, and there's like price tags, and it looks like something that was shipped in. She didn't actually work it herself. As you're walking by, these two are kind of bickering at each other. Well, I hadn't make everything that I sell. It doesn't matter. The world's turning differently now, and people are manufacturing. You have no care for your craft. You have no care for what you do. And they're just complaining back and forth to each other. Farther down,
Can I just be nodding and agreeing with them just to see if it's gonna egg them on?
Which one are
It's
you
like,
going to agree
oh,
with?
that's an excellent point. Oh no, you see that the counterpoint there. I'm really liking where this is going.
Yeah, exactly.
Just egging on both sides.
Yeah,
Egging on both sides?
yeah.
I'm just gonna turn to Varian as we walk by, and that, my friend, is an excellent way not to get any customers.
Let me double check something.
Seems about right.
Yeah. So as you're kind of walking back by and you're just kind of egging on them both, which one are you going to side with first? In your
Both.
random throws here. You can't
Whoever talked
side with them
first.
both at the same time. Grandmother's talked first.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be like, yes.
Or the elderly looking one, not grandmother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you're gonna say something along the lines of more for handmade stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, with that
The
being said,
devil really is in the details.
Yes.
with that being said, she's gonna look to you. See, this man understands good craft work. Handmade stuff's always better than corporate stuff that can break because they don't put time into it. You agree with me? She's looking over at you, Calvin.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right. Well, I have all kinds of handcrafted goods if you're looking for them. What exactly are you looking for? And the pink girl's kind of walking over to the side, leaning up against a wall now, just kind of watching the interaction. Maybe got one foot propped up against the table, chewing on a nail.
Unsure.
You
Like
look
a
down
metal
the,
nail or like one of her fingernails.
like her fingernails.
Okay, not quite as intimidating then.
Yeah, she's an attractive looking tiefling, kind of I'm not gonna say
She's
high class,
chewing
but
on
just,
a metal nail. That's
oh,
just terrifying.
imagine those high school girls that you didn't want to hang out with because they were so annoying. That's her.
Oh, jeez.
Get us away
popular-
right
the
now.
popular-
Yeah, no, I haven't even looked at either of them or noticed that Calvin's wandered off.
But yeah. You walked away, Calvin?
No, I was with them. I was just trying to make.
Oh, so
Things
she starts
happen.
showing you a few things. She's got little bags and stuff like that. A bunch of handcrafted stuff.
What is all this?
Let me see here. General clothes, things like that. Give me a I guess persuasion? With an 8?
These rolls, bro. I need advantage.
Nice roll. I'm actually going to give you the advantage on this, just because you were talking to her first. So I was looking for a 16, but with the 8. Looking at it, I don't know if you guys have a bag of holding yet. Have any? Have
I
you seen one
I
do.
before?
started with a bag of
Oh,
holding.
never mind.
Both
Both
Calvin
of them
and
have
Varian have one, yeah.
Oh, you both
I'm the
have
other
one?
Who doesn't?
Yes.
Well, then you definitely see that she has a bag of holding here, as well as some other knickknacks and things like that. Mostly just clothing, handmade stuff, but there is a bag of holding that's sitting there as well.
How much for the bag of holding?
I mean, you respect good craft, and this lady kind of steps forward.
Absolutely.
Are you looking for a bag of holding? I got the more manufactured stuff over here if you're looking for something nice.
I do
And
like
the
nice
turtle lady kind of
things.
walks over and starts smacking a stick on the little railing there. You mind your own business, and my customers are my customers. Looks back at you. What were you saying, dear?
How much for the bag of holding?
I'm sure I can get you some kind of a deal on it.
Oh.
And the pink girl kind of looks over. And if she can't, I'm sure I can get you a deal on one.
Oh.
Sec. Just double
Question
checking
is,
something.
does Calvin manage to walk out of this with 2 bags of holding for 5 gold each?
Oh gosh, I forgot what he isn't doing. I forgot what he wants to do with this stuff. Give me a sec. Bag of how much is a bag of holding? Really?
Is that a really oh, that's cheap, or a really as in that's expensive?
She's gonna look. I'm not going to give you the advantage for the persuasion just for the cost of the bag. But just to have seen that she has one and that she pulled it out, but she's going to kind of look over. They're around 1,500 gold pieces for a well-crafted one like so.
That's a little bit out of my price range at the moment.
Out of your price
Unfortunately.
range, huh?
Yeah.
Pesquin's gonna. Oh, her name's Pesquin, but I will give you their names now. The older lady's gonna look over at you. Her name is Ertel.
Turtle the turtle.
Ertel the
Love it.
turtle. The tiefling girl, her name is Pesquin. Pesquine. And I will actually show their stuff here. Hold up.
So we've got a turtle and a pesk. Not bad.
Oh yeah. Pesquin's gonna kind of look over at you. If that's a little too steep for you, I mean, I have other items for sale. Ertel's gonna move forward. He's not looking for your items, he's looking for my items. I mean, a little steep, but it's handcrafted. Very good detail. Why am I not able to show her name here? Why is it not?
I do like detail.
Oh, it's token settings. Give me one sec. Oh my, dude, I'm losing my patience with this freaking turtle lady. Nothing is working. Oh. No. There we go. Sorry. Okay. No, it's not. Why is it? There we go. Jeez. Ertler. It's not Ertl. It's Ertler. Sorry.
Ertler.
Not as
The
good
other
as
group,
Ertl.
the other group has been here, so I've got to keep the chronology and names correct for everything. So
I did
just
like
know that
Ertl
these
a
names,
little bit better.
these names were given to these people spur of the moment on the other group. So this is
Turtler the turtler.
Ertler the Turtler. But Calvin, kind of looking around, you look down at Pesquin. You don't see any bags of holding at all at her station. However, there are plates, dishes, things like that, and a couple rare, like not rare, but random-looking stones, kind of on the front desk there as well. Farther on down is I think she's a dwarven lady. Double checking here. Don't remember what she is. Her name is Begbag.
Big bag. Big bag, big bag, big bags.
Begbag. She's down there, and it looks like she has like focuses and stuff like that. Not so much something that you all need, I don't think. Y'all don't need focuses, right?
Don't
I'm
think
looking for a
so.
lens to focus with, but I don't think I need a focus.
No, not so much with that one. Walking around. Okay, so as you come around the corner, looks like more like cosmetic stuff, home goods, and things like that. There's a very young-looking turtle girl that's kind of sitting there. As you go a little bit further down, there's another older lady. Again, dishes, plates, home goods stuff, things like that. As far as glass, weapons, and stuff that you were looking for specifically, that's on the other side. If you would like to go to the other side of the the market area,
Take the
kind of gets you out of that. You kind of get the impression that like your family-oriented stuff is more so to the front, so that people can kind of like get in and get out, and your more darker stuff's more so to the back.
Just looking for a lens.
So coming around to the back, you start to see things like armor. You start to see things like swords, maces, all kinds of random stuff. Also coming around the corner, it kind of shifts from these attractive tiefling girls and little turtle people that don't look so intimidating to now you're looking at some goblins. There is a minotaur male at the back as well, 2 of them. And the shops are just definitely draped a little bit darker. Even though it's daylight outside, for some reason in this back corner of the shop, it's very dark back here. The smells have changed, very smoky. But yeah, it's definitely a different aesthetic in the back here. As you kind of see the shopmen giving you an eye as you three very royal looking people come walking into the back of this area. They all kind of are just giving you an up and down look as you walk in. Varian, you're giving greetings.
I suppose so.
The goblin's not going to say anything. The one person that would see you the first would be this big minotaur fellow. He kind of just looks over and just kind of gives you like a grunt and a nod. Continues going back to what he was doing, and looking at him, he's got like some leather straps and stuff on a table. He seems to be doing some kind of like leather working or something. Can't really tell too much.
This big burly minotaur guy, he's got his little sewing needle.
He does.
I respect it, man.
I have to make a living too, you know. Hey, one sec, I gotta answer a phone call really quick.
A minotaur dedicated to his craft. Respectable.
Exactly.
All right, sorry. What was that you said, bud?
Just commenting on how the Minotaur's dedicated to his
Oh,
craft.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Give me, if you all would like to like take a general perception check, go ahead and roll me perceptions just to kind of look around.
I am very specifically looking for this lens, but sure.
I'll give you yours at
Apparently I'm
advantage.
not very
since you're
looking
looking.
very- oh,
No,
okay.
you're looking specific. I'll give you yours at advantage.
I would love to look around.
25.
Just as far as looking, so as far as like glasses and scopes and guns and things like that, not Varian. Carter, you're kind of walking around, looking around, kind of getting an eye for things. You notice in the back corner there's like a drape, kind of covering a door that's not really like open publicly to anybody like that yet. The Minotaur kind of looks at you and catches you kind of glancing back there. Kind of looks at you. Can I help you? Are you looking for something specific? You seem to be, wandering eyes. For
Reach
the other
into-
two,
Okay.
go ahead.
I will reach into my pocket and pull out what's I've mostly assembled of the scope. Looking for a lens to see if I can finish this off.
Yeah, he kind of looks down at it. We don't really have like glass blowers or anything like that, but you might be able to talk with Isn't, and he might be able to look at it for you. Little goblin fellow in the back kind of points to where the sheet's hanging. Give like 3 knocks before you go in there, or he's gonna not be too happy of you just walking in.
I appreciate it.
Of course. The rest of you, as you're kind of like looking around, let me see here. I have to go through characters' notes. So you notice that the one goblin here, Calvin, he's got some. No, that's the wrong thing. My bad. Hold up. He's listed as food, and that's not correct.
I wouldn't classify goblins as food.
Looking at the other Minotaur that's kind of behind the shop, Calvin, you see things like javelins, just standard swords, things like that. There's also some shinier swords that look a little bit less worn and like newer. They just look nicer. But yeah, other than that, it just looks like standard weapons by the one Minotaur guy. The other fellow, maybe he does have food. Maybe that's how I designed him to have. It says he's got food over there too, the one goblin guy. But yeah, Carter, as you kind of walk to the back, are you keeping an eye on the Minotaur fellow too as you're making your way through there?
Well, I mean, if he's the one who directed me, then no. If you mean the other one, then yeah, I'll give him a nod, but not particularly paying him attention.
Now, the one that told you to head on back there, he's kind of going back to what he was doing. You kind of get up there and give a little knock, knock, knock. and you hear from inside, "Who is it?"
Damon. Carter Damon. I was told to speak to you about a scope.
Right, and who told you to... Oh, wait, a what? As the
Scope.
sheet goes ripping back, you see this little goblin male, dark black hood over top, very bright eyes, very happy to see you at the sound of, like, scope. He kind of looks around, looks past you, like, through your legs, because you were very much so taller than him, trying to see if you're being watched at all, and grabs you by the hand. Do you resist?
Nope.
And pulls you inside as the curtain drops below. You said a scope. Show me, what exactly is it you're looking to do? What? I don't... show me, please. While he's doing that...
It up for the most part. Yeah,
while you're doing
you can
that...
go to the others.
Anything you guys want to do while he is in this shop in the back?
You see me walk to the back and then get yanked through a curtain.
I just
know,
saw
right?
Carter get kidnapped, so I'm just gonna peruse the selection around here while I wait for him to come back out.
Yeah, same.
All right. You have a 20 perception. Calvin, you're rocking a 22. So you guys are just kind of like posting up, right?
25 actually, but yeah.
While you're doing that, the leatherworking guy kind of looks at you. You all partaking, like, partying by chance? You know, little smoke here and there?
One of us.
Do you like smoke?
Well, I mean, I got some cool things for sale too. If you
Well,
know,
how about
partake.
we do a trade?
Well, I mean, I don't have yeah, let me show you what I've got. I'm gonna copy and paste this. Why is it not copying? He pulls out this cylindrical looking object with what kind of looks like a button on it. Puts his mouth up to it, pulls this long pull of air into it, or from it, and blows this big puff of smoke out of his mouth. So what you've seen, holding this pen in your mouth and breathing in allows you to project a thick cloud of vapor, but don't worry, it's not tobacco. As a bonus action, you can blow this vapor out in a 15-foot cone or 30-foot line. It doesn't do anything, but it sure does look cool. The pen of vapor contains 10 charges and takes 3 hours to regain a single charge. So basically, this dude's selling vape pens, if you'd like one.
I'm
But,
gonna give him one of my puff puff passes. How about you try one of these?
Well, I mean, also, he's going to pull out one that kind of looks like this. This one burns like dry herbs and stuff like that. Does the same thing as far as blowing smoke, though. But it's 15 gold pieces instead of 10. It doesn't have a recharge, though. You just put your tobacco into.
Tobacco with quotation marks?
With quotation marks. So you can get one that's kind of just the vapor, or you can have like one that burns whatchamacallit, but you just have to have your puff puff pass to load it. It'd just be like a smoking device, just something for fun.
I'm gonna trade him one of my puff puff passes. Now this is very expensive stuff.
He kind of looks at it. And then what makes it so expensive? I've seen stuff like it before.
No, but you haven't had this kind, my friend. You should try it out.
I don't know if I should do persuasion or deception. Do you honestly believe it's good, though? Give me a persuasion.
Yes.
He knows his stuff.
Calvin thinks he knows his stuff. Calvin's only been to Olympia. 14? All right. With a 14, I will let you... you just want to trade 1-to-1?
Yeah.
All right. You have basically that right there, pen of vapor. I'll get you a sheet for it in a little bit, though. These can also be used in during combat and things like that. And it's not going to do like a darkness, but it will do like
Smoke cloud kind of thing?
yeah, like a smoke cloud,
Sure.
give you a little bit of AC, things like that, maybe,
Mm.
depending on how you all use it. Yeah, he does a little bit of trade with you. Jumping back in there with Carter.
Oh, also we call it PX3. Just to let you know.
PX3.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad marketing. It puts a name onto it. Gives it like not relevancy. What's the name? What's the word I'm looking for? Marketability. I'm kind of a businessman of sorts. It gives name recognition. That's what I'm thinking of. PX3.
A businessman.
I gotta write that down in his notes.
We're gonna come back here in like 3 weeks, and
Oh,
everyone
God.
in the market is just gonna be out of it.
Just done. Jumping in there with you, Carter. Let me double check music. Of course it went off, didn't it? No, it's still going. All right. You pull out the scope. You let him know it's a slightly damaged. You've been working on it as much as you can. He's gonna kind of look at it. What exactly is it you're looking for? You trying to fix it, or are you trying to upgrade it, or what exactly are you wanting with it?
Well, currently
parts.
I was simply looking for a lens to see if I could get it repaired. However, eventually I do plan on increasing the range and such. Simply pushing the limits to see what it's capable of.
He kind of looks down at it. Well, I don't think it's just the glass, unfortunately, that's broken with it. But I have small fingers, and I'm pretty good with tinkering. Do you think you could leave it with me? Are you going to be here for the evening?
I suspect so.
Maybe I can do a little something with it. At the very minimum, I'll be able to fix it for you by tomorrow. The name's Isn't. Let me write this down for you. Isn't.
Pleasure to meet you.
Isn't Rezik. So the other group, shockingly, didn't go talk to any of these people.
Their loss.
So I'm giving him the last name now. So his name is Isn't Rezik. Come back by in the morning. Hopefully I can have something like, for sure it'll be fixed, but I think I can make this a little bit better too. What are you putting this on? So the scope's kind of universal. It can be used on pistol, rifle, whatever. He doesn't really know
I'll
what
kind of like unsling the rifle, which I assume I've got like on my back or whatever. This is what I've been currently working on.
And what's the range of the rifle?
Currently, a bit over 200 feet, I suspect. Might be able to push it a little further. I hope to maybe get some better rifling and such, increase the range. But for now,
he kind of looks down at it.
Maximum.
Well, this scope here is only looks like a 2x. So at the most, it's going to double your distance. Just give me the evening with it. Let me see what I can do, and just give me till tomorrow morning. And don't mention my name to anybody about doing this kind of work. Yeah,
I totally understand.
Pulls out a card. It just says is not on it, or isn't on it. Nothing else, just his name. All right. And this will get you admission back into here tomorrow, in case Tinneman's not outside.
Excellent. I appreciate your assistance. I will
no problem.
Park at the card.
So you would also now know, the other two don't know. Well, you'd probably know too. Oh, that's not Tinneman, that's Tepe. Dadgummit.
Tepe.
I like to believe he just forgot the name of his bodyguard.
Well, Tinneman's the one right next to him, but he would have said Tepe. If Tepe is not here tomorrow, just show that card to whoever's here and they'll let you in.
Sounds good.
Tepe. I forgot about it. That's Tepe Steady Walker. Anyway, as you come walking out, you kind of see Tepe blowing this big cloud of smoke. You see Calvin hitting on his, kind of learning how it works, and Tepe's kind of showing him, how it all goes together, how to clean it, things like that. Kind of looks back. You get you all sorted out then, I guess.
I believe so. Thank you for the tip.
It's not a problem. You ever hear anybody else looking for some, unofficial business type business? You know where to look for people that are looking for work.
I appreciate the thought, and we'll send them your way if we happen to stumble across some folks.
I appreciate it. If you're ever looking for weapons, weapon upgrades, things like that, Tinneman here's got you set. other than that, I appreciate the business, and I'm sure isn't does too. Yeah. What would you all kind of like to? Oh, also, just seeing the basic weapons, and the perception checks you guys did do. He also has +1 weapons. Tinnaman does.
Yeah, I'm probably not looking for anything.
Yeah,
I'll
my
stick with the cursed sword.
my gun's pretty decent.
Cursed items are
Alright.
dope.
Yeah, they never go wrong.
Never.
Checking a few things here. All right.
They wouldn't happen to have
Alright.
any of the crystals back here, would they?
Not back here. However, kind of
Like
built like a
purple.
repertoire with them. If you were to
Alright.
ask Tepe, well, I mean, as far as the rarium goes, I mean, we mostly deal in the green down here, but we don't really do too much of it. He kind of points over to the older lady over here. Oh, that's Grandma. She kind of runs the place, kind of the total president queen, I guess you could call her. She kind of runs Caravan. She set this whole place up. If you're looking to deal in that kind of stuff, I'd talk to her.
Thank you for the tip.
Yeah, of course, no problem. She only deals with export though, not so much buying. So just know. Guess you all gonna walk over that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll follow the others. I got what I wanted to get done here.
All right. Walking up, you see first you see the younger girl down a little bit farther than this elder lady, and then there's also let me double check the age of this one. Oh, ages. Bio. Oh, cool. Of course it wouldn't have an age. We'll say like young adult. The other turtle in the back. As you're kind of walking up, they're speaking in whispers, hushed tones. Maybe it's a voice you don't, or a language you don't understand, but it just doesn't sound natural the way that they're talking to one of each other. As you're kind of coming up, and as you're walking up, and they catch that you are coming to them, they kind of stop their talk amongst each other, and the elderly lady kind of looks at you all. Oh man, I forgot how to. Hold on, I gotta get her voice. Okay, I got it.
Well, hello there. What is it that I can do for you?
Would you happen to know where we can get some purple aurarium at?
Purple. Not so much purple. I can probably find you green or the red. Purple, not so much. What exactly is it you're looking for it?
Or even yellow. Yellow would be kind of interesting too.
She just gives like a half-hearted laugh.
Yeah, there's no yellow around here.
I know yellow.
Why? Because it doesn't naturally form here.
Why not?
You must be new.
Yes.
She kind of looks. You notice that the fellow in the back's kind of getting a little bit more interested as you guys are talking too, and just definitely keeping an eye on things. Kind of get like bodyguardish vibes.
Well, the aquarium's all kind of new for everybody. We have green naturally forming here. Yellow, we've seen it, but we don't know where it comes in from. Sometimes ships bring in random stock, and we don't ask questions of where things have been, where people have been. We just do the trading. But as far as yellow goes, none here today. But we have green.
And she kind of looks back at the one behind her.
and red.
What about if you mix colors? Like the red and the blue, and then you make the purple.
I'm not an alchemist or like a mineralist or an herbalist, or I just sell it. If you want to play around and mix this stuff together on your own, by all means, feel free to endanger yourself.
Not gonna lie, Calvin, that is a very smart idea. We should try that.
Am I the
should
only one
try
with the
that.
turtle on this one?
She's just looking at you two like,
Right, just I would suggest not doing it like indoors or
Can we do it here in Caravan?
What about on a ship?
Ooh, maybe not.
You know what? You seem like smart people. Yeah, go ahead and do it on a ship.
she's gonna look over at you, Carter.
I'm guessing you're the
He's gonna
boss.
give her a look of why. I have to convince them not to.
You know what they say about that law? What can happen will yada yada.
She kind of like starts walking to the back.
Are you
What
gonna
if we
die?
bring some and show you how to mix it right here in front of you?
I would much rather you didn't do any of that.
You said you were an alchemist. We can teach you.
Yeah. It could be
Now,
a
as
learning
a conversation,
experiment
was
together.
Learn who is an alchemist.
I got drunk people again. Sorry, what did you say?
No, I'm just saying that if we want to teach her to be an alchemist, we have to find an alchemist.
I have no
We can be backyard alchemists together.
I have no want. I'm very oh my gosh, I'm very fine just doing the sales. Look how old I am.
Think about how well
It's
you
never
could actually
too-
sell that stuff after
It's
if
never
you
too
know
late to
so
learn a
much
new
knowledge about it.
profession.
Very much so. You'd be cutting out the middleman.
I don't have knowledge on it.
Wait, what? What are you propositioning her right now? Sorry.
No, it's
Yo,
okay. We
you
got
guys doing the
covered.
research and then doing the selling through her?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much. Or if she knows more about it, then she can easily sell whatever color she wanted. And just have...
You can give me an insight check on her if you'd like.
19.
19.
Very nice.
You get the feeling she's telling the truth. She doesn't practice mixing. She just has like the crystals in its raw form to sell. It's kind of all she has.
So who's this guy behind you? Is it your bodyguard or helper or...
She kind of looks back and he just looks up. Well, it's none of your business, to be honest. Didn't really hear me asking for your name, so how about we just don't ask for mine?
Is
And
it bring your kid to work day?
the woman just gets a little laugh out of that.
He's not my son. This is Gaul. Gaul's my friend. I guess you
Friend,
call him.
eh?
That's nice.
He's
Hmm.
kind of my right hand, I guess.
She kind of takes a step forward, and you see the other little turtle girl, very smaller, running back and forth on the other side.
Kind of looks after Mole there.
That's Maul without, like Molly without a Y. Maul.
Not like Darth Maul.
We all traveled this way, together a while ago, and Gaul's just kind of watched over us and Caravan and the turtles in general.
She kind of looks over towards the minotaurs and stuff.
Just keeps an eye on things, No need for race wars.
Why would there ever be a race war?
Well, this is a very multicultural area here, Caravan. We let everyone in and out. Doesn't matter. Everyone's welcome, except Olympian gods.
Starts
Good
like giving you a
thing-
sniff.
We hate Olympians.
Yeah, those guards suck.
They're always in here trying to shut us down and steal our stuff and rip us off. But anyways,
Yeah,
Did you want to make a
scumbags.
Did you want to make a purchase of green or red, or I might
Hmm,
let you in on some blue from the Olympian regions if you're looking for it.
How much is your
maybe
green?
later.
Green?
Yeah.
Double check. What did I say? It was 5 for blue? 10
5
red.
for blue, yeah. 25. Is it 25 for red?
I don't remember. Where's the thingy?
Where's
You need the
conversion sheet?
It was 50, I think, for red. 25 or 50, something
I know one of
stupid like
them
that.
was exceedingly more expensive than the other.
Yeah, and it was 5 for blue. Know that for sure. But this was
I think
selling
red's
prices.
25. I think green. All right.
So we sell it for
I'm trying to remember here. Hold up. Was it for 5 gold for an ounce? Or was it a pound? I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
No,
I think it was for. I think it was 5 for a pound. She's gonna tell you.
it's 5 for a pound for green here.
Actually, roll me a deception check too. All of you, except for Carter. You did not blatantly say that you were not Olympian.
No,
I didn't say I wasn't. I just said I didn't like them.
I just said the guard sucked, which in a way
You're
we
lucky.
do
She has a
suck.
passive of 10. You're lucky.
To be honest, I did say the
Lucky.
guards suck, and we do suck.
Mm-hmm.
Speak for yourself. I'm just kidding.
So you get the feeling that since green is like from here, if you buy here, you can get it for the 5 gold a pound, which will give you 16 ounces, which will give you 16 researches. If you buy it away from here, it's going to cost more because green is from here.
Let's
So like buying
2
blue here
pounds.
would cost 10.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't
You wanna
hurt
buy-
having a few pounds on hand.
Yeah, for sure. You said 2.
Yeah.
She gets you like a. One sec.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. You give the 2 gold. She gets like a burlap sack. Starts putting the crystals into it. She's not like shortchanging you or giving you like smaller ones. Like they're all average size, decent size quality. Nice and clear when you look through them. She kind of hands them over to you. I'm trying to remember the characteristics of the green really fast, so let me look that up.
Yep.
I think the green one is the vibrating one.
Oh, that was the purple one.
I think purple does too, but I think yellow
Oh.
does as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. Okay, so yellow also. No, I'm so sorry. So she hands you the bag, the burlap sack, and she kind of looks at you.
Just be careful when you're touching it, messing with it. It has like a tingly feeling when you hold it.
Kind of like if you were to stick your tongue on a 9-volt, that's the feeling you get through your fingers as you're touching the. Oh no, wait, that's yellow. Wow, so sorry. Green is the vibrating one. Yellow is the one that has the other one. Yeah, sorry.
Electric, yeah. Or
Yeah,
semi-electric properties.
has the electrical qualities. The green one has the vibrating qualities. It kind of feels like it's moving in your hand even though it's not, vibrating in your hand even though it's not. And out of character, you have no idea what yellow does. But yeah. Or in character, you don't. Out of character, you do. 'Cause
In character, we know it can be used to heal allies.
Correct. Yeah, in character, you know that the bullets, or not the bullets, but the gun shoots like an energy, basically like a rail gun, I guess is how I could describe it. Like imagine what a rail gun looks like flying through the round looks like flying through the air. Is kind of what the yellow Aurarium shot looks like, or that specific recipe. But yeah, so she hands that over to you. Touching it, you get the feeling of the vibrating and stuff like that.
It's a pleasure doing business. Are you all new in town? Are you staying here, or?
I think we'll be looking for a place to stay the night.
Yeah.
Well, I am Grandma, and I own all the rooms as well. We have rooms upstairs. We have a dinner theater upstairs. We have bars and stuff, down on the bottom floor. But we have shows and stuff in the evening if you would like to partake and look for a room.
I
One
heard
room.
bars.
Go ahead. One room. It's only 1 silver for the night per person per bed. If you feel up for it, that's up to you. The bar, she will point kind of down towards where the fountain was, where you saw what's his name, Simon, kind of walking towards. The bars are over towards that way. Also, the stairs to get upstairs are also around the corner that way as well. To the rooms. She would also point you. I know that it doesn't look like it. Doesn't well. Yeah. The bathrooms are over here. For Drake's purpose. Where is this at? There it is. There's the bathrooms and stuff. I think that's all like the logistics y'all need to know for now. But yeah. So yeah, if you want to get a room, you can pay me now. I can get you a key now, or usually after 4 o'clock, I'm in my own room upstairs, and you can do it there too. Or you can just link up with my friend Gaul here. And Gaul kind of looks up. Hey, don't come to me. He goes right back down. It's whatever he's doing.
I will drop 4 silver on the counter. 3 rooms, I think, for the night.
All right. She kind of tucks it all away. Each room comes with an extra bed and stuff like that too. So if anyone from the ship, as you guys are all kind of standing there, you hear like a. I can't whistle for crap. Someone give me a whistle real fast.
I like to believe Simon's actually doing this. He can't get the whistle.
There it is. As you hear Simon whistle.
Attempting multiple times, and then finally gets the whistle.
I can't get a whistle out right now. My lips are too dry. But yeah, whistling from over this way. All rolled pretty good perceptions, so you would probably hear it. Keeping that same perception. Grandma kind of looks back. I think your company is calling you. She looks over at the bag too, and I tucked that away. We're known for bandits and things around Caravan. You don't want someone to just yank that out of your pocket there. I'd put it somewhere safe.
I'll just drop it in my bag of holding.
All right.
Hopefully nothing goes wrong with that.
So Simon's kind of waiting off to the back. You guys kind of finish up with that. For purpose of just moving the story along a little bit, we'll say that you guys kind of with Simon go and get some food, kind of browse through that, looking through some things over there. He kind of introduces you to Todd. This is Todd over here. I will show you to him. He is a tiefling fella. Very shady looking character, purple hair, purple skin. Talks very very know-it-all-y, like very matter-of-factly. Just seems to know a lot. And as he's coming over there, kind of introducing you all, he kind of gives like a little bow and looks towards Simon. Just meet with me in the morning, and shall I have your payment to you? And looks at all the rest of you. And Simon says you might be... Sorry. I just realized what I just said. Simon says... Simon says you all might be dealing in the markets of black market stuff. So, at least here in Caravan, he looks at Simon. I guess I'll be your point of contact if you have anything you want to sell, buy. Just get with me. What do you think?
Sounds
It's
fantastic.
good to know that we have someone we can turn to.
Sounds fantastic. Now, where's the drinks?
Drinks. So here where he is, he actually has like a fruit bar. This is actually like a Jamba Juice type deal he's got going on here. So if you want like a
not shakes. What are they called? Juice.
Smoothie.
Smoothie. He makes like
Hell yeah.
smoothies basically
I'm
over
in.
here.
I'm in. I want a smoothie.
He kind of looks at you. We have all kinds of fruits. What exactly are you looking for? Tropical or what?
Well, I'm new to this continent. What do you recommend?
Sounds good. I'll whip you up something from local. How's that sound? He does
Perfect.
like an apricot mango type thing almost. Some kiwi, very tropical.
Nice.
Protein powder. The full 9 yards. Get you a nice smoothie.
All right.
That's
then.
only 5 copper for the drink there. Kind of looks at you all. Tomorrow, when you all do come in here, make sure you come in through the back. Simon knows, and then as far as doing business in the future, same thing. And I'll show you all that in a little bit. But he's kind of giving you the so out of character, you all. This will be your point of contact for as far as I guess treasure hunts. Like if you need to what's the word I'm looking for? Launder. Like this is your guy. He only takes 5% of your stuff. This guy will clean up all your things and stuff like that. He will also be your black market person for selling magic items that maybe people don't want, that you can't sell elsewhere. Like this is your contact guy for all that stuff.
Only 5%. Very nice.
Yeah.
He's also going to be your contact in this city for contracts, things like that you might be looking for. There's nothing right now at the time being, but like in the morning when you guys come back, check with him maybe. But as far as stuff like that, like this is your go-to guy. This will be your ear in this town, basically. Especially that needs to be known for. Does anyone have a criminal background?
Nope.
Nope.
Pretty sure we are
do we?
all military.
Yeah, we're all military, dude.
Who had the dockhand feat?
I was
Is anyone doing that?
yeah,
Calvin was a sailor.
I was a sailor. Yeah.
Or no, sorry, the job on the ship.
Oh, no one chose that. I was a gunner.
No one deckhand. That was it. All right, so
I
that'll
thought
probably
we weren't
be
picking jobs yet.
not yet. So it'll be like in relation to if someone chooses deckhand, they'll get more out of Todd, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So as of right now, like that's what you're going to be able to get out of Todd. If someone takes deckhand, like he'll have more pull with Todd. Alrighty then. Calvin. You guys will have all that sold. I think we're gonna end it here for right now.
All right.
As you all are kind of getting here, you got your rooms for the evening. You all are kind of just settling in. You can't get any money until tomorrow, really. You have to wait for your scope for the next day. You guys have met Grandma. I'm just trying to make sure I got you guys all where I want you up to be for now. There's that. I think we're good. Got your Ararium. You guys are free to go drink. There's no... Oh, also, just asking around town, things that there are to do as far as leisure in this town. There's horse racing gambling. So there is like a track where you guys can go to if you want to do something like that. They have like cards, poker, and I have a whole thing of D&D like gambling games at the racetrack, so that is here as well. There is also Ryberry that you guys can go to as far as next session. But I think when we start off next time, we're going to kind of pick up back here and start you guys off kind of with getting the payment from Todd, picking up your scope and things like that. And then I kind of want to introduce you guys the next... You guys are kind of on the next arc now. You're leaving the Royal Guard and you're kind of embarking on your adventure now. I know that you guys still have Theo stuff that you're working on. So as far as all of that goes, I'm going to go ahead and say level up to level 6. And I'm going to say that we are now on your guys' like pirate arc. Because as you guys left Olympia, you all are now technically branded as pirates, even though...
we are now enemies of the crown.
Pretty much. It's not known by them yet. I mean, it's only been a week, but fairly soon they're going to know, so...
Within about 2 weeks, I imagine.
Yeah. So, well, once their shipment comes back with no money, they'll really know. But
Who said their shipment was coming back?
exactly. So you guys are kind of on a different arc now. You can take up to 6, and then that'll give us time to do all of that. And I think next session, I'm trying to think of what I'm going to have you guys. As far as Theo and stuff, what are you guys planning? Actually, let's go ahead and end this now, so we're not talking too much out of character while this stream's going on. Thank you everyone for coming and watching. We greatly appreciate it. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, subscribe. It goes a long way and really helps out everybody. We're glad that you're here to listen to the journey, and we'll catch you next time on the next episode of Seas of Hysteria Royal Guard.
Bye.